What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 42 of C4S Villains. I am your host JB and I'm here as always with the Council of Villains, my boys Vash and Steve. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode.
Glad to be here. It's been forever. It feels like it's been like, I think it's only been 2 weeks, but it feels like we haven't recorded in like a month.
Right?
For me, it feels like forever because, you know, with my job and production, it feels like I'm so inconsistent being here on my own show and everything. So like, damn, it feels nice to be here. Like work, they come here and do a podcast. Like I said last night, it feels good to be back and doing content. And for those that don't know, me and James met for the first time in years and to actually have the experience and actually to see James Moore in person. It's just awesome. It just feels awesome to be here.
Yeah, man, it was great to meet those guys at Anime NYC. Can't wait to meet Steve. Can't wait to meet Ray in person. So many other people too. But yeah, man, that was lit. But we'll meet up at DreamCon. That's gonna be sick. You know, so we'll see you guys in July. You know,
for sure.
Yeah,
and plus, like so much has happened in the pop culture of comic books. You know, new shows has been dropping. You know, sometimes they've just be shooting an arrow or should be web slinging coming out in the next 2 weeks. So stuff be happening, right, James?
Yeah, man. Like, we will be talking about the Flash Armageddon. We were just talking about it behind the scenes. I want to wait until the event's done, and then we're going to review it as a whole. We'll dedicate an entire episode just to the whole event because there's so many things to talk about, like Vash just mentioned. So one of those things that we'll be talking about on Monday, December 20th, we'll be doing a live stream full spoilers review of Spider-Man No Way Home. So, Steve, I want to know, like, what is your excitement level for Spider-Man No Way Home? Do you have your tickets, and when are you going?
I will be going on Thursday at 8:40 p.m. I have the seat F7, so I'm right in the middle, like directly in the middle.
Nice.
Right in front of the screen. So, yeah. And, yeah, I'm excited. I've already muted the word Spider-Man on Twitter right now.
Smart, man.
I know that somebody's going to see it early and they just not going to be able to help themselves. And then instead of everybody else just like ignoring it, they're going to start retweeting it for some reason. So I'm going to eventually see a spoiler, or you're going to see a spoiler if you don't freaking
me. Hell no. I will flip out. I would block somebody and never unblock them. So if that happens, just know I will find your address and throw a middle finger at you. Just tell you, fuck you.
Yeah. So mad. So I went on and muted it. I was like, fuck that.
So, yeah, next week I'm muting everything and I'm only going on Twitter to post news. I'm not looking at anything. I'm not scrolling the timeline. I'm staying away because I refused to get spoiled by anything, bro.
I'll probably use the Anime Lady account since the Anime Lady account doesn't follow pop culture or comic book people. It just follows anime and manga people. But then also the anime and manga people probably will retweet stuff like Steve said. So it's like it's still like hit or miss.
Do it, bro.
And Chris, no, I was not one of the people suffering because with my job, I don't know what's my schedule on that Thursday night or that Friday. So I can't really buy tickets and then find out I have a night shoot, and so I can't make it to my own screening of to see Spider-Man No Way Home. So I bought the movie tickets. So sorry, Sam bought the movie tickets, and we're gonna be watching on that Saturday afternoon, I believe at 2 o'clock, one or the other. So I'm excited. I'm gonna just be logging off social media that Monday because press are seeing it usually 3 days before, and also James reminded us last night that the UK also gets a couple of days before. So definitely logging off social media. So anybody wants to contact me, Discord or text message. That's it. Definitely not
yeah.
Twitter.
Chris,
Yeah.
Brian, thank you guys for being here, by the way. But yeah, Chris,
Same.
so at midnight, 12:01, Mia and I were up waiting, trying to get tickets, right? Like I had 3 screens up, she had 2 screens up, and she actually got through before me, and we were able to lock in tickets for Thursday, 3 p.m., bro. I
3
can't
p.m.?
fucking wait.
Wow.
3 p.m.
There's
the
that-
very,
there's that
very
early screening?
first showing of the day, Dolby Cinema, the only way to see this movie. I can't fucking wait. And then on Saturday, seeing it again with a different group of friends at 8:45 p.m. And then, yeah, we're going to review it that Monday. So I got lucky. I actually stayed in the line on my devices just to see what would happen, right? So I was already waiting 30 minutes. I was in line waiting 30 minutes. And then when it finally hit to the 1 minute mark, it jumped to more than an hour. And
Oh,
then it
wow.
stayed there for like 20 minutes. And then you still had to wait that time. And then the app froze. And then it signed me out. And I actually still can't get signed back into the app right now. So it's still glitching,
Wow.
bro. So yeah, it broke so many like first day records for the MCU. I believe I was reading this article. According to Digital Spy, Spider-Man No Way Home has the biggest MCU first day pre-sales of any movie, which is crazy. But you know why, right? Because it's Spider-Man No Way Home. We're getting to see the Sinister Six finally from different parts of the multiverse, and then there is the potential that we might see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, right? So we were talking about this at Anime Lately last night. They're not in the fucking movie. I don't think they're in the movie.
I think
Steve, do you think they're in the movie?
I think that they're going to be a very, very late appearance. There's going to be a very, very late appearance or after credit scene where we're going to see them.
Well,
I think it's only going to be like a quick, like, oh snap, they are here, and everybody's going to clap, and then No Way Home or some crap like that. Like it's going to be really quick. Like they're not going to show up 20 minutes into the movie, so don't expect that. But I expect them to be the last like 7-8 minutes of the movie. They show up, people get the clap, get some super hypeness, and then they're still getting beat up, and then the credit ends or something like that. That's what I'm thinking.
Vash, what about you? Are they in the movie? Chat, chime in too.
Well, we had this conversation last night. I'm gonna repeat it one more time. They're in the movie. How long? What they're doing exactly? Is he gonna tell Toby? Is he gonna tell Peter, Tom Holland, like, hey, just like our Uncle Ben have said, well, great power comes great responsibility. We gotta send it, these people back. Something like that
That would be
said.
fucking terrible. I would
I'm just
I would
giving-
laugh at the screen if they ever put some bullshit like that on the screen. I would fucking laugh, bro.
I'm just saying, if something like that happens, or in that scenario,
That's
a line,
horrendous.
or they will be fighting, something will be happening.
That's
I know damn
horrendous.
well they're gonna be in the movie. And me and James has already 2 bets. One being said on Animated last night, and one being said like a month ago. So one of the other bets are gonna be winning, because I know damn well it's gonna be me. And if I lose, it's gonna be James is gonna getting something in mail, and
Oh,
a fan is gonna
God.
be winning, I think, a Blu-ray or something. I said on the C4S Venom
Oh,
something like 2
Blu-ray.
or 3 episodes ago. So if I lose, technically the fans win and James win. If I win, I forgot why I won. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember, bro. But it's like I hope they're in the movie. I just don't think they are. I really, really don't. I really don't think they're in the movie. But I mean, if they are, I'll be very, very excited. Chris, I am also very excited, and it's very interesting to see that the press, they're only gonna get to see 40 minutes of a 230-minute movie, if I'm correct.
They know that. That's great. I love that. That's
So it's
fucking
like
amazing.
They
they're
changed
trying
it.
to avoid spoilers as much as possible because Forbes, Forbes, they're
Oh, you
famous
told me about that.
for dropping
told me about
spoilers
this.
like crazy, bro. The Rise of Skywalker, they had an article that was a full breakdown of every single thing that
Of 2
happens
weeks
in Rise
before.
of Skywalker. Weeks before, bro. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, could you not wait to release this until like opening day?
They're
Like,
"Oh,
get
we
someone
got
to write a
money.
non-spoiler. Like, come on.
We got money. We're Forbes."
That and Chris, if you tweet about the movie while you're watching, I'm gonna block you until like a month later, or take it until next year. I'm gonna be like, Chris, block.
Until next year, so about 12 days.
Yeah, 2 days after. Oh my god, some people are gonna be making those jokes in the next coming weeks. I'll see you next year. It's gonna be so annoying, but it's just I'm so excited about this film. Spider-Man, and little nice transition. Trilogy, the next one coming up, or perhaps it isn't or will not, because some people like to talk without having the correct knowledge, or maybe actually not waiting until a film set to be out and then give said information out. Like,
Yeah,
people don't got
great
patience.
transition. So let's talk about that. So, Steve, I'm not sure if you heard, but Amy Pascal was in an interview and she said that Tom Holland was going to be in a new Spider Man trilogy. Some of them might take place within the MCU, right? But then Sony came out and completely denied that there's like
Redacted.
solidified plans for a trilogy. So this could mean that it is happening, but it's not like officially ready to be like released, or it might not actually be happening within the MCU, and it might just be a trilogy that's just within the Sonyverse. So it's like, what do you guys think about that?
So
Well,
I was wondering how soon are these movies going to come out, because I'm not sure how old Tom Holland is, but I remember seeing a statement where Tom Holland was like, he doesn't expect to be playing Spider-Man by the age of 30. He's like, if I'm still playing Spider-Man by the age of 30, then I'm doing something wrong in my career. So if that's the case, then how is this second trilogy of movies going to come out unless he just was just to talk?
he's currently 25. He was born in 1996. He's my age.
So 25.
So if a movie comes out every 2 years, I mean,
It'll be-
yeah, he would be 31, 32 by the time it's
Don't-
like released.
Yeah.
But by the time he's doing the trilogy, he'll be doing his last film, recording and filming by the time he's 30, and it'll be released by the time he's 31, 32 max.
Yeah.
So that could be his last
That's
film
fair
if that
enough.
is the case. If that is his last trilogy, that would make sense.
That's
Yeah.
fair enough.
And I
then.
hope he gets the second trilogy. I don't necessarily need it to be within the MCU because there's other shit they can play with, right? Like they're making this Craven movie. Maybe something happens between them. Maybe him and Venom like team up like to take on some villains or some shit. Who knows?
Morbius.
We already
Yes,
know.
Chris. Thank you. College years. I've
Yeah.
been wanting that since the comics. I read it, and people don't understand how great. Like, Teenage Peter, awesome. But college year Peter, the way the Spider-Man cartoon, that is my favorite. College year Peter, when he's out with Gwen, when he's out with Flash Thompson, and everything, and then he becomes Venom and everything. Like the college years where he's in I forgot which college he went to. Was it
I
was
can't
it
remember.
NYU?
Uh-huh.
I forgot what was in the
can't
comics, but
Yeah,
just knowing that
working at the Daily
transition from
Bugle.
high school and everything, and the Daily Bugle, him taking pictures, and then we have Parker, where's my Spidey pictures? So like just to hear that and just to see that happening, and then if we get, I think it was the Parker Foundation, if we also get those stuff from the comics too, and also his company, like that would be amazing. Like just to see those little seeds, and then he could, slowly leave leave the Spider-Man to have a mantle and like still be within the MCU, but then have Miles. Like that would be dope. Like I feel like this would be the awesome Spider-Verse live action if we get another trilogy. Like that would be fucking amazing. Like I'm excited talking about it.
Yeah, dude. I would love to get a trilogy in his college years, and then just like you said, Vash, like perfectly. I would love to see him, like in that last movie, spending time like training Miles and like passing the torch. Similarly to the game, right? Like somewhere Miles gets
yes.
bitten, and then by the end of the movie, he goes to Peter for advice, and then that third movie is just like him, like passing on the mantle, and then we get a new trilogy of Spider-Man movies with Miles Morales. I think that would be fucking dope. But we'll see.
I think it was Empire State. I just forgot which was the college he went to because, for those that know, in the current movie, he's applying to college and he wants to go to NYU because in the film, Tony Stark went to NYU, so he wants to follow. But it's better that I hope he stays in Manhattan because, AKA, that's why he's the neighborhood hero, AKA the neighborhood Spider-Man. So it'll make sense that he stays in Manhattan, AKA probably goes to Empire State or NYU, whichever colleges he went to. I totally forgot. But for trilogy, I vote for yes, and I agree with what Chris said. Amy Pascal is just excited. She's thrilled that these films are doing well. A lot of people, bought the tickets, and it's just that whatever she does, I just need Kevin Feige to be with her all the time because he just gives us memes and he just gives us the best
Right?
expressions.
It's like,
I
Amy,
wonder
So
if
like,
he
yo,
texted her immediately, like
chill.
he
he'd be
texted her
like,
immediately, like strike two. Like, he's just like, come on. But
it like, and I just feel bad for the interviewer because they have to ask these questions, but
Yeah, they have
them knowing that like, damn, is she really gonna give me these answers? Is she really gonna be around the bush? So like, it's a win-lose situation for us, the fans, and plus for the interviewer because Amy Pascal just has to answer a couple questions, but it depends on who and what gets asked, and people just be asking the right questions and girls just gets excited. So I understand it. Like if you're a producer and you just get these films out and you're involved in it and you get it done and a lot of people and you just make billions of dollars, you're fucking excited and you want to make more of a trilogy.
Yeah, but you
Hell
also
yeah.
have to be a professional and keep your fucking mouth shut until
Mhm.
things are like fixed. You know what I mean? Until things are actually in place, which has gotten DC in trouble multiple times for announcing
saying.
all of these different movies that don't fucking happen because you're supposed to
And plus
wait.
Universal. Like
Yeah.
but thing is, I understand her because for those that have seen the Anime Lily show, I get very excited and sometimes I spoil shit. That's why my team has made the name Vache into a name that people like to spoil.
Thankfully,
But
we
it's
have
just that
Sam.
but I
Thankfully,
just get
yes.
excited for these things, and definitely Sam will be the one to tell me, "Yo, my dude, shut up." So I understand Amy Pascal when you're in the position, if you just want to express your gratitude and express your excitement for something, I get it. But what James said, she needs to be professional. Understand you're in a producer of a company and you're producing these films. You need to understand what you're saying before you get yourself in trouble, even though you're not gonna get fired but you need to understand that these things are not public yet. Wait until the film is out, so you can say yes, this film did this much money. Guess what? Tom Holland got signed on for 3 more films, and he's going to be in these other type of Netflix shows. AKA, I hope he's on in the future of Daredevil season 4 because that would be an amazing collab. Because from the comics, Daredevil and Spider-Man have some great chemistry, and if we have them in a TV show / film, that would be amazing. That would be beautiful.
Yeah, man, that'd be sick. Like, last thing on the Spider-Man news, like, so at the moment tickets went on sale, scalpers were on eBay selling tickets for ridiculous fucking prices. I'm looking at it right now. There's $10,000, $20,000,
Why though?
$25,000 just to get an opening night ticket. I'm like, dude, just wait. Like,
Just wait.
avoid spoilers and just wait. There's no
I'm watching
way
this Saturday.
I'm
I can't do
spending
nothing
10
about that.
grand on a movie ticket for 2 hours? No.
I bought my ticket yesterday, and I got the 840, the Thursday
shouldn't.
840 smack
Like-
down in the middle.
I get it if you live in New York or Los Angeles and everything gets sold out, but like, all right, cool, go to a midnight show and drive away an hour or an hour and a half if you really want to watch it. But if anybody that has bought $4,000 of a ticket for 2 hours, I'm like, yo, can you give me that money if you're gonna spend it for 2 hours? I
There's
need
like
the money.
10 postings for $25,000.
It would be cheaper to fly to a different state and watch it.
No, like put the money in stock. If you have the money, put it in stock. Buy
Put your
yourself a
money in
house.
Spider-Man.
Travel to Japan.
The Spider-Man
or
spot.
or buy profit of Sony or buy profit of Marvel, so you can technically be part of that. Buy stocks in that. But 25,000 for a movie ticket, you're insane.
Yeah.
Beyond insane.
Man, that's just insane.
It would be
I'm
cheaper
looking
to
at the
do that.
sold page. This is actually kind of ridiculous. Some of them have sold, like for like
Wow.
for like 9,000. Some of them have sold. This is crazy. Okay.
Wow, some people actually have
Hey.
spent $9,000
There's a market
on an
for
actual.
everything.
Wow.
It's a market for everything, apparently. So
Apparently.
Oh yeah, there's a market for anything. But damn, $9,000. Like, I need that money. I need to pay bills out here.
Right?
Get a
Yeah.
college tuition like Deb, I still have the nice beautiful interest. Like $9,000 for a movie ticket, it just makes no sense. Like, didn't your parents teach you how to save money and use it wisely? Like,
Some-
what the fuck?
whoever spent $9,000 is a millionaire or something anyway. That
They got to.
is,
But like,
it feels like $9 to them. That's the only way they could have did that.
I don't know, dude. Like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, someone actually bought this.
and
It
hey,
says
Spicy.
sold. Spicy was good.
Spicy.
Merc was good. I
miss
saw you in
you.
here too.
Um, And hey, mercenary, hey to everyone. I'm glad everyone's here. I want to say glad to have everyone here on the channel. Continue subscribing, continue liking, and don't forget. James posted it on the Twitter. We are five followers away from 600. So if you guys haven't yet, follow the Twitter account of the C4S. Go do that, please.
Yeah, share it with a friend. So, any other thoughts on the Spider-Man news before we move on to Hawkeye? Because we got 3 episodes to talk about with you guys.
Yes, Spider-Man. I'm just damn excited. Can't wait to see what this movie is all about. I have seen speculations of Venom and everything else, but I don't want to give anybody that have not seen the movie or spoil anything of what people that have not seen the post-credit scenes or anything that's going to evolve around that. But overall, I'm excited for the film. I can't wait. 2 weeks away. Feels so goddamn far. Like I remember when we were 6 months ago and we first saw the trailer of the Green Goblin right there and those posters. So I can't wait to see the conversation and play the chemistry and what other side characters that we have not seen in the trailers. Because I feel like, no lie, is it me or do I feel like those trailers are almost exactly the same? They just keep showing a lot of different angles or like 10
yeah,
seconds
because they're
more
smart.
than what they're.
The movie sells itself. They know they can just regurgitate the same shit, and people
literally
will keep watching
it. I'm like, I feel like we've seen the same trailer every single time.
That's just a different angle. That's probably a fake scene. People are definitely digitally removed from these shots, so it's just like it's all misdirection, bro. That's why I don't watch trailers. I saw the first one, the second one. That's it. They're not. I think the one that's punching Lizard is Doc Ock, bro. I said this on Anime Lately last night. I think Doc Ock is going to switch sides and he's going to... I mean, he was never a bad guy. So I think he's going to take control of the arms and he's going to fight side by side with Peter to try to return everyone back to where they need to go or kill them because, they're all technically destined to die, but...
James, would you take that bet? What Chris said?
So
James is gonna
Mia
shave
would
his
kill
beard
me
if Toby and Andrew aren't in the flick.
I would do it, but Mia would kill me. I did it once just for shits and giggles.
You did tell me that,
and she did not like it. So if I'm not gonna do that. I'll do something else. Like we can put money on it. Like I don't, because they're not in the movie. I am very confident they're not in the movie. I will put money on it.
And Chief, me and Sam has paid $50 or almost 50 for a movie ticket, but that was we went to see the movie Belle inside the film festival. So I think per ticket was $35. But the most I'll pay for a movie ticket if it's a nice theater, if it's a film festival, max 100, minimum probably 50 anything. Never fucking $9,000, my G. Like I'd rather go to fucking play Japan or go to a casino, play some, gamble my money and probably, go higher. But for movie ticket, hell no.
Yeah, dude.
Steve,
they're absolutely crazy.
No, I'm not fucking. You said $100. I'm not doing that.
Damn.
I'll find it on the Fire Stick before I spend $100. Like no way. Like no, I'm not doing that. I'll just wait. Yeah,
I would just wait, bro. Hell no. Breezy, hell no. I am not cutting my hair ever. It's not happening.
I had a feeling somebody was going to say that.
Say me too. That's what I was waiting for. I'm like, it's probably going to be the next person. It's probably Brian. And he did say, I'm like, yes, Brian, I have gone to a casino and actually won some money. I've gone in with like 200 or 500 and I came out with like 1,000 plus. So it's possible. You just got to know how to count cards, even though you're not supposed to. But yeah.
So honestly, right, the most I've ever paid for a ticket, and this was because this ticket allowed me to watch this movie as many times as I wanted for a month. I paid $100 for the BVS Ultimate ticket. So it was a metal like collector's card with my name on it, and I could go as many times as I want for 30 days in any format that I wanted, and it was a collectible. There's only so many of them made. Yeah, and I paid $100 for it, so I can watch BVS over and over again.
But how many times did you actually go see it?
6 times. I wanted to get my money's worth. All Dolby.
Was this like
all Dolby?
No, I'm saying like, was this the regular version or was this like the?
Well, yeah, because the Ultimate Edition was never theatrical, so.
Okay, yeah, the Ultimate version is not that great. I prefer the Ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, BVS has a lot of issues, but there's a lot of really great scenes in it.
Oh
Zack
yeah,
Snyder's really good at like literally bringing comics to life, so it was definitely worth seeing on the big screen that many times. But yeah, not a great movie.
definitely. Steve, any last thoughts about the trilogy or over the Spider-Man?
No, I'm gonna show up in my Spider-Man hoodie. That'll be my dress-up costume, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be it.
Yeah,
Shit, do I have any Spider-Man clothes? Now that I think about it, shit, I don't.
I
I
don't.
got
I
a,
have a lot of like collectibles.
I have an old
I
ass.
I have Spider-Man Crocs
Oh God, of
Where
course you do.
I
in my
have this
closet.
old ass. I don't know if you ever remember the zip-up hoodies that zip all the way up.
Yo,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
old
yeah.
school. Yes.
I still got that hoodie, so I'm just gonna wear it. Fuck it.
All
Yeah,
right, so
Smart.
let's dive into our Hawkeye spoilers review. Like I've been waiting to talk about this show. It's been really really good. I'm actually waited until the third episode dropped so I can binge watch the first three episodes. I've seen
course.
each episode twice at this point, and I think it's
Oh,
been a
nice.
really really good start. We can talk about which one is our favorite once we get to the end of the review. But Steve, I want to start with you, and I just want to get like a temperature check. Like, what was your excitement level for Hawkeye before it dropped?
Um, so honestly and truthfully, I was excited for it because of the fact that it was a Marvel TV show and we've been on like hiatus from the Marvel TV shows. But at the same time, it was like Young Justice was out right now. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm all the way in on this. And then when Hawkeye dropped, I didn't even know it dropped. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like Friday, and y'all were like, did you guys watch Hawkeye yet? And I was like, yo, it dropped. And I had to go back and watch it. But when I watched it, I was not disappointed. To me, I I was in. I was all in. I'm excited about it. I'm loving it. Um, I guess we're not on that part, but like the mystery of everything, I'm excited for it. I'm loving it. So, uh, but yeah, I was more so like just like we haven't got any Marvel TV show in a little bit, so I was itching for it. You know what I'm saying? We hadn't had anything since Loki. We had Eternals come out, but other than that,
But
Marvel.
if
Oh, we did have What If.
Yeah,
Huh?
what if, bro?
that's
I
that's
completely
what
forgot about
that's
What
what
If.
I was literally gonna say. Like, I get it if this was 2020. I'm like, it's been a while, but like, what if literally happened a month ago? So
I
I'm like,
completely forgot. I don't know what just happened. I completely forgot about What If.
Yeah, bro.
I'm thinking the last one
he
we got
already
was
said
Loki.
right here, Men in Black. You forgot what if?
I completely forgot.
And Brian, we are gonna break down each episode individually. We're gonna talk about like the overall plot of like each episode, and then like our favorite moments and stuff, like just like the biggest takeaways, just for the sake of time. But yeah, I'll let you know right before we do three, so you can bounce. But yeah, three
'cause
was really
we're
really good.
yeah, three's my favorite. That's what I'm gonna say now. So, Brian, I'll give my review after Steve goes. But yeah, wait.
But yeah, so far it's been great. That's my excitement, overall excitement for it. I was more excited for this one than I was for Falcon Winter Soldier.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just because he was one of the original, you know what I'm saying, Avengers. So I was more so excited about this one. And I do like Renner a lot.
Yeah, he's such a good actor, bro. But
Yeah.
Vash, what about you? Like, what was your excitement level for Hawkeye?
For those that don't know, one of my favorite characters in the comics is Green Arrow, and not Hawkeye. But I love my archers. I like Hawkeye in the comics. In the movies, he's been more of a side character, not really main focus. But throughout the films, they've been telling a story of him as a side piece and everything, bit by bit, with the Russo Bros and everything. That they knew not to have him out as a side piece as much, but they also try to focus on him with some type of character development. So I really appreciate that. When they announced that they're gonna adapt Matt Fraser's storyline with the Hawkeye series and have Kate Bishop, I'm like, dope. I was excited for it and thrilled because Werner, great actor. I still agree that he should continue as Jason Bourne because I feel like he did a great job. I don't know why people did not think that he was good because I felt like he was actually entertaining.
Because he wasn't Matt Damon. You know, they wanted
know,
Matt Damon.
But I felt like he was actually good as the next one. And to see the repeated story of the Winter Soldier of you being going to the dark side, but then you get brought back to the good side. But for but from a different character point of view, aka Hawkeye, and him having to train, and we see his post trauma of him being as a hero and of all the shit he have said, aka I think it was said in episode 2. I fought Thanos. I fought Thanos. I could do this. So it's really enjoyable as the show, but I'm excited. I was excited.
Yeah, we have to
That's
talk about
my
those
temperature.
comparisons because I don't see the comparisons between him and Bucky because like Bucky had no control over what he was doing at all. He was brainwashed. And then with
Mhm.
Clint, he was just so overcome with loss that he snapped and decided to become like an assassin and take on the Ronin moniker. But yeah, as we go through the episodes, I would love to hear your thoughts on that because it might open up my mind to a different perspective. But like, let's dive into episode 1. So I love this opening, like immediately going back to 2012, getting to see the Battle of New York from Kate's perspective, like getting to see what her home life was like. Like we get a little glimpse of her mom, her dad. But what did you guys think of that like recreation of the Battle of New York and like Kate's perception of it? Because one thing that I noticed was like Kate saw a hero, right? Clint saved her from that Chitari that was coming towards her. He looks so cool on top of that rooftop, and we hear this like really cool like Avengers style motif. But if you remember from the Avengers movie, it was a very somber moment because during this time the Avengers were all getting injured. So it's just very interesting to see it from like a child's perspective looking at a hero. So that was one of my biggest takeaways from that moment. But Steve, I want to start with you. Like, what did you think about that opening sequence and the recreation of the Battle of New York?
Yeah, same. Pretty much seeing it from like you're looking at an idol and you're like, they can do no wrong. Like he's perfect and he saved me. And it looked like, you know what I'm saying, everything he was doing was perfect. But if, like you said, they were in like despair. He ran out of arrows in that scene. He goes through the window and he doesn't even stand up anymore. He's just like, he just rolls out. So it's like, but she doesn't get to see that part. She just sees what he did. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? So out of sight, out of mind in that sense of, but like just that whole scene was dope. And I mean, are we going to talk about everything around it with the parents and
Oh
everything as
yeah,
well?
yeah, full
Yeah, yeah.
spoilers. Go for it.
So with the parents, like they're having an argument. They're having an argument about money, which was really something that stood out to me because in the next time you see the mom, she's wealthy. So that stood out to me. But they were having an argument and kind of discussion about money, things like that. Then as all the rubble is coming down and her mom comes in there, she grabs her and then she goes, "Where's daddy?" And she doesn't even answer her. She just keeps running. That was something that stood out to me as well. And I was all like, "Oh, okay, cool." But the overall scene, I thought it was dope seeing it from that perspective. Just her seeing it from like the child in awe of a hero. And it actually struck a chord with her and she becomes this archer, you know what I'm saying, in her own right, just because of that scene of who saved her. So I thought that was really dope.
Yeah, and Brian, like it was definitely intentional because I mean, that's how we look at superheroes, right? Like we read comics and we look at superheroes and we only see the perfection. We only see how amazing they are. And we're going to talk about it once Vash is done giving his points. But once we get to the musical, Clint has a hearing aid. Like out of all of the battles that he's been in, he's lost his hearing. So it was just good to see more mortality from our heroes. Like they actually go through shit. So that was something I really liked. But Vash, what about you? Like what did you think about this opening sequence with Kate Bishop, her family, and the recreation of the Battle of New York?
I gotta give props in the writing in the beginning of the episode right away because I do want to say I love how they said the line right before her house got crushed and everything, and then the dad passed. The mom said, "You always trying to figure something out to fix our money problems. Things don't fall from the sky." And then like a minute later or 2 minutes later, literally shit fell from the sky. So I just love how they was playing with the foreshadowing in the writing. So I could give props to that very much. Additionally, um, for those that don't know, in the comics, the mom is the one that died. The dad is the one that stayed alive. And the in the episode, the dad said like, "Hey, we could figure something out with insurance. My theory is that the dad is probably still alive. He chose to get killed or to take, sorry, he chose to fake his death so the family could get the life insurance of the place and of his.
Nah, Eleanor saw the advantage and she fucking killed him, bro.
She killed him. Yeah, that's
That could be too. So that's my other theory, is that she technically is the one that pushed him to the rubble or kill him with a knife. Who knows? Because when she said to her daughter, "Hey, Kate, watch this," so she did a trick and she put the grape or something in her mouth. But like that shows some skill for you to do that, and she played with her spoon, and like not a lot of people could do that right away in one try. So for her to do that, it shows that she has some skill that her daughter don't know about. So it shows that, because for people who don't know, she's taking Madame Mask as well in the comics. So curious to see how is that going to lead into as well in the future of the episodes, and how's that going to go for the mom versus Kate in the future.
Yeah, Kate definitely got her athleticism from her mom. One of the things we see in the opening sequence is there's a picture of her mom doing a handstand like on a mountain. It's like, so you'd know she travels, you know that she's probably done fencing, all of that stuff, everything that Kate's done. I'm sure she's been through it, because during like that opening title sequence, you can see her training, like overseeing all of Kate's training. She's very involved in everything that she does. And I love that from that moment after Kate's father died, she knew that she wanted to be a hero, right? So she tells her mom, "Get me a bow," and her mom was a good mom. She is supportive, right? Like Kate learned martial arts, gymnastics, archery,
I thought that was too forced.
fencing.
I don't know. It felt like just straight out of left field. Like it literally just said, like, "Mom, I want a bow and arrow." Like I felt like
Well, I mean, wouldn't you want your child to be able to defend herself? And you can tell that her mom's an overachiever. So it's like, all right, well, if you're gonna do it, kid, you're gonna do it to the best of your ability, and I'm going to make sure that you do it to the best of your ability. So it's like that's just the type of character that she is.
She nurtured, you know what I'm saying? Your child asks for something, she just nurture it. You know what I'm saying? Like you see that they're good at it. They're starting to show athletic potential, especially knowing that you were an athlete as well.
Right.
Like you start to just nurture it and you just give it to her. And
True.
obviously she had some money.
Because that's what I did like with the opening sequence of the show and the ending sequence, which is very comic book related like. So I love that because it shows her past of what she has done and what she has accomplished as Kate with the Olympics, over there in high school and training with the fences. So I love how instead of showing like a montage, they did a montage with the opening sequence. So I find that very beautiful too, to show us as the audience. Most likely a lot of people didn't pay attention because they just thought it was just some type of design, but I love that they show the audience with the montage of her skills and what she has done, instead of showing it throughout the episode and us kind of getting bored, or there's too much buildup.
Yeah. So next scene, let's talk about the bell tower scene. Now, I mean, we already knew that she was gonna fuck something up and something was gonna happen. I didn't think the whole bell was gonna fall. She
Me either.
destroyed half
like,
the whole fucking building.
Like, how did you literally break that whole shit? Like, all right, cool. I thought it was gonna like fell one bit, but now it went boom, 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 boom. I'm like, how did you break the whole tower? And I love how she didn't get in the first try. She got in 3 tries. Like, I love how she calls herself
2 tries
as the greatest archer. Oh, it was in 2 tries.
Still. Yeah, cause the bet was like, what actually makes the noise? Is it like the bell moving, or is it like the ball on the inside? So she hits the bell from the outside. That doesn't do anything. So she aims for the moving ball on the inside, and that's what gets it to swing back and forth. And then it all falls.
It all falls like crazy.
Yeah, which is crazy. I'm like, how old is this thing that just it moving a little bit?
For an arrow to be like, yeah, I'm gonna take it all down with an arrow.
That is crazy. And I like her outfit. I'm not sure if she's gonna get like sent up an updated one, but I love how she kept the purple very consistent throughout the show. So I love the wardrobe. It like shows that she was inspired by Clint, aka Hawkeye. So I love how she has stayed with a purple type of outfit throughout the whole time.
If you look at the Hawkeye banner on Disney Plus, they're both in their like end of the season costumes, so you will see an upgraded version of the costume. Like there's a lot of promo images of them in the new costume, so it's actually pretty
Ah,
cool. And I love that it's kind of fashioned off of like what she thinks Hawkeye should dress like, but in her own way, you know, with like the purple color scheme, with throwing in the black and everything. So it's like she's such a fangirl too, and I love that. I love that there's so many Hawkeye fans out there. But Steve, what did you think about her like absolutely fucking destroying the bell tower?
I thought it was hilarious. Like I honestly and truthfully, like you said, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it to break at all. Like I know you guys said you knew she was gonna fuck up the shot. I didn't think it was gonna happen this soon. So like I was just like, oh, okay, she shot the arrow. And then when it fell, I was like, oh shit. And then it kept falling. I was like, shit. Like so, but yeah, man. Doesn't that bell represent something as well? I'm not
oh,
sure how.
I don't know which
I have
bell
no
that
idea.
was. I
Uh,
cannot recognize this. I'm not sure if it was from a college here in New York, but she must have been close because for her to travel, she arrived through the Grand Central, so she must have been coming from upstate New York, or she must have been coming through New Jersey. So that bell was probably from PA, New Jersey, or upstate New York. So one of those, but that bell must have been something important for the mom to just write a whole check right here. They're paid off. I'm like, damn, yeah,
Yeah.
rich people.
Right? Breezy, that's such a good point. Like her friends just like dipped.
left her.
They didn't even like call out like Kate, run, something. They just dipped, bro. I'm like,
That's it.
some
Nah, bro.
friends.
Nah, bro. This is on you. You break the whole tower. We outie.
But yeah, like you said, Vash, like she just pulled out the pocketbook and just paid for it. Because I mean, the building
I
that
love
they're
the-
in, like for their family to own that building, that's like supreme old money. That's why I think she saw the perfect opportunity. Eleanor definitely killed her husband. She now owns everything he owns. She becomes the new head of like some like faction of like a mob family. There's a lot of
AKA
shit going on.
AKA the Jackson Mafia. 'Cause that's what she always wore red dress, red everything.
I mean, is she though? Because I mean, Maya's technically running it on the streets, and then like when we get into the Kingpin references, spoilers,
Yeah.
like I think she reports to Kingpin. Like I don't think she's in charge of the tracksuits. She could be. I'm not saying she's not, but I think she's probably in charge of like a completely different like family. Who knows?
But I love the
Yes,
line
uncle.
that I love.
Cool.
I love that the line Eleanor told Kate that with you young people, you think that you're invincible. With you rich people, you're invincible. And Kate, you're both. I love that line very much because it was round the nose and explained her character very well because it shows that she's very reckless too from the stuff that we see much later on throughout the next two episodes and everything. So I love how her mom said that because it shows her character of how she's been over the years and how what we see later on.
And she gets her ass kicked, you know? So I mean, her mom isn't lying at all. Like, and I love that too. Like, I would hate it if like, oh, like just because she's an aspiring superhero, she'll be able to beat everyone up. No, she gets her ass kicked constantly. Like she gets in
quite a
some good hits, but
Mhm.
And then the next scene, the
Rogers
cringy.
the musical, Jesus.
Yes.
I am
I'm
not
Clint.
a fan of
I'm Clint.
musicals,
Mhm.
so it's like,
Oh, me,
I
I
I
am.
can do this all
Um,
day.
oh,
Out
stop!
Out of the whole team, I think it's me and Ray, the only two people that actually loves musicals.
Oh, I love it.
Because ours is Steve. So it's me, Ray, and Steve. Then we could all three of us could watch a musical. That's not Steve Rogers the musical because I would leave.
That doesn't look
I-
good. Yeah.
I was Clint. I would literally will find some type of excuse to get the fuck out. I was hoping that y'all would have cut this like off already, like Clint would have left or something, but not. I'm like, why is this dragging? Can we move? Can we move? Like, I'm sorry. And Clint even said it like Ant-Man wasn't there, and I'm like, thank you.
Yeah,
Why
he's
did they
like
keep
really
adding character?
critiquing it. He's like, Ant-Man wasn't there and all this other stuff. Like, he's really feeling it.
Yeah, like why did his kids want to see this? Like, your father was there. Like, you can literally ask him, hey dad, how's the bed of New York? How's this? Ask your own father. He was literally there through everything.
Yeah,
you gotta
but
see
I
the fucking
mean,
musical?
they went for the bonding experience. It was something to do because it was the biggest thing in town at the moment. But
Yeah.
man, was that shit cringy. And
They would.
it was supposed to be cheesy to some degree, you
It
know?
was. It
You
was
saw that
definitely.
interview where the dude was like he was like he was driving through New York and all you saw was Hamilton posted
Yeah, yeah.
everywhere. So he's like,
And he
I
was
just
like, I
immediately,
got it.
yeah, he's like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess that does make sense. Gave you another advertisement point for Disney Plus too for Hamilton. So
Yeah. But one thing the MCU does really well is balancing emotions, right? That was like we get the initial like beginning to the musical. It's like this really fun, like funny, cheesy thing. And
With
then
the
it's like they
Natasha.
start talking about Natasha. And then you can see the look on Clint's face. It's like, yeah, it's great that she's being glorified for the amazing hero that she was, but my best friend's dead. And there's all of these reminders of her, right? And then there's this little girl, she's cosplaying as like Black Widow, and it's like, yeah, I mean, you want to be nice, but it's still really hard because your best friend's fucking dead, bro. Like
best friends.
that was
dead. A
that
lot of
was
people
rough
are
for me.
dead.
And plus, he blames himself. Like he's guilty about that. He feels like he's the one that should have given his life. Like he's the one that he should have gone. So he feels also guilty on top of that. Like yes, he lost his best friend, but he also feels guilty on top of that, and that hurts him the most.
It's a lot of people. Not like the best friend is the more in your face thing, but he still knows Tony Stark died. Captain America, Steve Rogers is old, pretty much, on his deathbed. Like those are three people that he lost. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better word for Steve Rogers, but he lost three people, and now he's watching them, and they're just like kind of just like making it just this whole little thing and making money off of it and stuff like that. Where to him, it actually hits him, and it
Oh
feels
my God, Bryce. Yes.
the dude
That
that's
scene on that scene when they say, Hulk, what is it that you do best? Best, smash, smash. I was like, no,
Yeah,
stop
I was
it,
like,
stop it. No,
yeah, please
no.
end it now. I
Like,
also would have
why?
left halfway through.
Like, how did you find a way to make his catchphrase like Hulk smash into a cringy way? I'm like, why did y'all do this
But
to
it
my
works
soul?
because that was the point. Like
It was the point, but goddamn
they
it.
wanted the musical to be super upbeat and cheesy. But yeah, like you're saying, Chris, like it did add that extra layer. Like it definitely worked. It was just really hard for me to get through, bro. And then Clint goes to the bathroom. He sees the sign on the urinal that says Thanos was right. And I'm
He was
like,
like, "Huh."
yes, he was right. Like, and if you've seen
So-
Eternals, you know that Thanos was definitely right to snap away half the life in the universe.
So, question. We also find out that this current timeline of the show is Christmas 2025. This is technically after
Allegedly, yeah.
WandaVision,
They said it's 2
Falcon
years
Winter
after
Soldier.
Endgame.
Yeah, because
So-
they're like blocking the. All I saw was 22. Is that 20? Then there was a 2, but it was like blocked with a vase. I never saw.
No, that was Christmas 2025. So
Yeah, so
that's
so what Vash is referring, there's a set photo that said it was New Year
Oh.
2025, but in the episode you don't see the 5. But the writers also said that it's 2 years after Endgame, so it's just like which
2
puts
years.
it at 2025, I think.
Yeah.
If that's correct.
It-
Chat, please correct me if I'm wrong.
It's because Endgame is year 2023 is when they do the time jump and everything.
Bet.
So this year 2025. So like, I'm curious to see what like Spider-Man No Way Home and the other movies technically happens before Hawkeye. So I'm
Mhm.
very curious in the future episode that we see what happens during. So it's very curious to see if they put themselves in a kind of nugget or what's gonna happen next. So that's my curious things that I was gonna ask you guys. How do you feel about that in chat as well?
So if it's 2025, that means Kate Bishop did not get snapped away.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah,
She did not.
because her age was for the first.
2020,
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was
2012.
22, right?
Yeah.
She's 22, and then so that 2012 scene. So
Yeah.
she didn't get. She couldn't have got snapped away
Yeah.
because if she got snapped away, she'd be younger for sure.
Steve, trust me, I feel because I also did the math because I was talking to Sam about the like, hold up. So
Yeah, I was just
like,
doing it.
I was doing the math, trying to figure shit out. Like, hold up. So she didn't get snapped and everything in year 25. So it also makes me wonder about Eternals. So I'm like, Eternals technically happened before Hawkeye. So it's like, it just makes me curious to know like what is the next gap to fill within that gap of Hawkeye. So that's my curious
I'm
thing.
just waiting to see, like, are we going to see like Sam Wilson Captain America on the news in Hawkeye. Like, I think that would be dope to just
Yeah.
have like a news blurb that just pops up, or like someone sees like a Cap poster or something. Because I mean, we know Falcon and Winter Soldier is only like what was it, like a couple
6 months
months? Yeah, a
after
couple months after
6 months
Endgame.
after 23 of during that time. So it should be the end of the year or beginning of 2024. So they should have still during that time.
Yeah, so I would love to see that. I would love to see Redacted that shows up at the end of Eternals. I would love to see like some kind of news broadcast of like what happened at the end of that movie. Because I mean, there's a lot of things that Hawkeye can take advantage of, like especially like a lot of things that I thought were really cool in all of these episodes were the fact that they're in New York, right? Like I was just in New York. They were at the train station at like Chambers Street in like one of the episodes. I was like, oh shit, I was standing right there. That's so cool.
So that's dope. But let's jump into the next scene that happens after the musical, which is the party, and which is the hotel, who's owned the hotel. For those that don't know, in the Daredevil TV show,
Is owned by Wilson
Kingpin
Fisk.
Owned by
owns that
Wilson.
building. Is owned by is owned by that building.
So
And
many Kingpin Easter eggs, dude. They're
so
all
I just
over
love
the
that
place.
very much. And then we get the little heist of the Tracksuit Mafia for a fucking watch. They did this all for a fucking watch by the Avengers compound.
Was it just a watch?
Right. So
Well,
we don't know what
That's
the
a,
watch
yeah, I'm
represents.
about to say that's the Tony Stark watch.
true.
I mean, do we
but-
know that though?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah.
who's the only person that wear watches out of the whole Avengers?
Yeah, that's Tony.
I
Stark.
mean, that's not a good argument.
True.
Like
But
anyone
also,
can wear a
It's
watch.
It's gold
Also,
with a red face.
for
That's Tony Stark's. That's
for the
Iron
comic book nerds, that number on the watch I think was 2396.
268.
268. That's a comic book issue where Kang was featured.
Yeah. So,
So
it's like
that's
Kang
so-
reference somehow.
yeah, it's a Kang reference. So I'm like, okay, Hawkeye, I see what y'all doing there, but I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? So very curious there too.
Yeah. Very curious. It's like,
It-
what's so special about this watch that they got from the rubble from Avengers? From the Avengers
I think
base.
It's something to do with Stark Enterprises. It's a gold watch, red face. And like I don't think there's anything that's more like blatant. Well, there's one more thing that's more blatant than this, but I think that's like the real blatant thing. That's got to be Tony Stark's.
Are you talking about a ghost named Shonen? I mean, Shonen. Whoa, I got confused with our own show. Ronin.
No. The other thing that's more blatant is who stabbed. But we
Oh
haven't
yeah,
got-
yeah. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that. So, before we keep going with the auction scene, one thing that I wanted to bring up was just Clint being at the restaurant with the kids. Like that
Oh, yeah,
was
I forgot
something
that
that really
happened. Yeah,
spoke
that was
to me
before. My
because the restaurant gave all of their food on the house, and Clint doesn't feel like he deserves it because I mean, Clint murdered dozens upon dozens upon dozens of people. He doesn't feel like a hero, and technically he's not. So it's like he doesn't feel like he should be getting all of this hero treatment after all of the stuff that he's done. So, Steve, I want to start with you. Like, what did you think about that?
I could understand that, the moral compass and everything like that, because of how much pride he has, probably, of what all the good that he did do and all the good that the people around him did. You know what I'm saying? His friends, and we just saw him at a play where he had to relive and revisit those memories of friends that were doing so much good. And then for somebody to be saying you're a hero and you know what you've done, I can understand that moral compass and things like that. And then even just like, you know what I'm saying, not to toot my own horn, I guess, but like military wise, you're in your uniform and then people give you free meals. You feel like you don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't actually do anything right now. And I know people that have done stuff. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's just like, I don't feel like I deserve it. You know what I'm saying? So I can definitely understand and feel where he was coming from on that one. And then especially knowing that he actually did some shit, that's a whole different ballpark. You know what I'm saying? So
Vash, what about you?
Another reference that is the restaurant they're eating is the same restaurant that the defenders ate when they were all together in the show, and that place got blew up because I forgot what was the organization. I think not Hydra. I forgot what was the organization.
The Hand.
Uh, yeah, the Hand. So that's also the same restaurant that was there, but it goes to the same point the Hawkeye told Kate all his life was to be hidden. He was never supposed to be out public. He always believed that he was never trying to make a brand like Captain America, like Iron Man. Him and Black Widow were trained to be hidden from the public eye. So him getting a whole free meal for his family, like he did appreciate that, but he felt embarrassed because that's not something he likes. He likes to be covert. He wants to pay for the meal because he doesn't see himself as a hero like James said and Steve, but he also his goal in his life and what he was trained by Shield and everything was to be covert. It was never to be in the public eye. So now that people know him and could recognize him, it kind of is the opposite. He gets free stuff. People notice him. People want to take pictures of him and everything else. So is the total opposite of that.
Yeah. So let's continue with the auction scene. So Vash already alluded to like the suit, the sword was up for auction, and Jack is very very interested in this sword. Why? I have seen some rumors online where it's like, oh, the sword actually belonged to him, and Clint took it and used it as Ronin. I don't know if I believe that, but it would be kind of interesting. But it's like, why else would he want the sword, right? One theory that I thought of, I don't think that Jack killed Armand, right? But
I do.
I don't think he did. I think that Eleanor killed him. First of all, he disrespected Eleanor, and then Eleanor found out that Kate heard it, so I think she killed him for disrespecting her and literally threatening her that he has friends too that could come after her, right? So I think Eleanor killed him as a show of strength, and I think Jack's just a red herring. Like he is, I think he is a bit of a douchebag, but I think we're meant to just look at him so that we're not paying attention to the real bad guy. That's Eleanor. Like, what do you guys think?
So I heard the same rumor where it was like they believe that he was the person that owned the suit before Hawkeye or whatever. So they were saying that's his sword. I've seen that rumor. And I also think I'm agreeing with you. I think Eleanor is the murderer. And I think that he's just he knows and he has something to kind of do with it. He's implicated in it, but he's not actually the one that killed him. So I definitely think I think it's Eleanor. I think this is the second time Eleanor's killed someone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think it's all gonna like go back to it. And yeah, man, I think that that's obvious. I don't know if we touch on the fact that Kate already met him and everything like that with the auction. I mean, with the auction going on, and then she was saying that
We didn't mention that that they were getting married or he proposed to her and everything, and she hates him because like, how the hell do you just, how the hell are you gonna marry a whole douche and everything like that? Which makes total sense.
yeah, so she's already kind of like had her like ins and outs with him, and then on top of that, he's threatened Eleanor. He's basically threatened the family and things like that. Like I'm sending people after you, so if you're sending them after me, you're sending them after my family and things like that. So she had to do what she had to do.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, even like with Kate, and I think a small thing that I noticed, I don't know if you guys peeped it, but when she said that she was there to see, was it Gary or Patrick or something like that?
I think it was
And
Gary.
Gary or whatever. So when she said that, like earlier in that scene, you watched it twice, right?
Yeah.
So did you hear the waitress before that say, "Where is Gary?"
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
didn't pick
Yeah,
it up the first time. I was like, oh, she
yeah,
just mentioned some random names, and the dude was like, oh shit, there's actually a Gary. But then
yeah.
yeah, you go back, you watch it again, and she was actually just listening, and she
Listening,
picked
and
it
I
up.
was like,
Yeah.
I thought that was really dope. I was all like, oh, okay, so she's paying attention to detail, like for real, like just to
Like
even throw that
Hawkeye.
out there. Yeah, so I really thought that was really dope. Um, but yeah, that was just something I wanted to touch on. But yeah, I think it's Eleanor. I think
Yeah.
Eleanor did it, and I think that he's implicated in it. And I think he might have been the original owner of the suit now that I've seen people talk about it. that he might have been the original owner of the suit and he wanted to auction it, and that's why he wanted it so bad.
I have no idea. For those that don't know, in the comics, like this character, I can't remember what his first name actually is in the comics. It's not Jack.
I was trying to find that as well.
His name is Swordsman in the comics, who is actually like a mentor to Hawkeye in the
Swordmaster.
comics. So it's like I really don't think it's him. I think he's an opportunist, and he's also engaged to a mob boss. So I think he knows the smart thing to do is not cross her. You know what I mean? So I don't think he was the one that did it, because I mean I think he will take advantage of it, because now he can run his uncle's company, and now Eleanor doesn't have a rival, and they can join these two houses together to become something even bigger. So that's what I think. Light was good.
Like Chris said, don't just see. Didn't I hear that more swords are in that damn house when Kate went home? Like, hey, mom, there's a lot
Exactly.
of swords in this house. So I think it's Jack, because Kate mentioned, like, why is there more swords recently? Who's the person who just got into the house recently? Jack. So I feel like that is what made
So
the
because
reason.
he owns the swords, that means he was the one that did the stabbing? I
So
mean, the
that's my
swords
s-
were convenient.
So that's my assumption. And two, he knows how to put the sword, the sword back inside. Like, if you're like a novice, you'll be, a bit confused. But he literally knew how to put it back in and everything, and
Which
it just
sword
makes sense.
are you talking about?
Ronin sword.
Well, I
When he was at
mean,
the auction.
but yeah, but at the auction, even the person that was displaying it on the floor, they put the sword back in. I mean, it's just a button. You know what I mean? So it's
Okay.
like everyone in the entire room saw how to use the sword. So when he got it, I mean, all he did was push a button. And so this is the other thing, right? Not saying that you're wrong, but we have no idea what sword Armand was stabbed with, right? There
True.
hasn't been any reports. He was stabbed with a sword. There's a shit ton of them all over the place. So we have
Yeah, it's
no
true.
idea.
I'm about to say, and
True, and
honestly,
plus-
truthfully, I'm surprised, Bash, with your theory that you think that
Jack.
their dad is
Look,
still alive. Why would
That's
you think
one-
that the dad is
one-
the one that killed him?
One, I do think that that's still alive, because like that's just a small thread, like small theory that I don't think it would be true, but if it is, awesome. But I also think it's Jack, because one, if you have a mustache like that, you are suspicious as fuck. I'm gonna just tell you straight up. I'm sorry. Like, if you have, like, literally
Misdirection, my
that,
friend.
that mustache is way too perfect. And if you have that mustache, James Bond type of villain, you really have a mustache like that, you're a villain. And in any type of spy movie, if you see a guy looking like with a nice mustache like that, you know he a bad guy.
And that's why
So-
it's perfect misdirection, because it pulls all of your attention away from Eleanor, who's actually the
Alright.
one that you should be worried about.
Okay, but not to jump to episode 2 real quick, but he also knows how to fence very well, and he knows how to do the peer or pair or whatever the hell she call it.
I mean,
so he knows how to do that very good too.
anyone worth their salt in fencing can parry. It doesn't mean that he
Parry.
stabs someone. You know what I mean?
I get it. I'm not trying to prove my point saying that they're wrong and everything. I'm just saying I feel like it's Jack. I'm gonna be on that.
So
I'm
Yeah,
gonna be-
it's definitely a possibility.
I'm gonna be
It's possible.
I'm gonna be on the Jack train here right now. So evil
So-
mustache villain, he knows how to parry very well. He knows how to fence and everything, and also he has a motive, aka his uncle did threaten his wife, or his future wife, but also he knew that if he killed his uncle, he would take his inheritance as well. So that gave it an extra type of reasoning for that. So I felt like it was more possible for that.
Yeah,
So-
it's possible, man.
So like he has his reason, he has his motives, and I gotta give props for Kate to have her first fight against the tracksuit boys or bros. I feel like it went well because it was entertaining, and for the Ronin suit looked good on her, even though they obviously fixed it up to actually
Right.
fare well on her. It looked good.
So
One more thing about Jack before we go into that. I think he's too smart. If anyone killed Armand, he's next in line. All eyes would be on him. He wouldn't be that stupid. He would get someone else to do it, or it was someone else that did it. I could be wrong, but it's just like, it just feels too easy for it to just be, it's him. It's Jack. Even with the butterscotch, I'm like, really? Just because there was a bowl of butterscotch in Armand's place? That doesn't mean anything. They're
It's
related,
evil
of
villain
course.
trope.
Of course
It's an
he
evil
has,
villain trope.
which
Mustache.
makes it
Say,
perfect.
Butterscotch. Old
Perfect
people shit.
misdirection.
Old people shit. Come on.
So JB, since
Hey,
you're
I
on
love
the
butterscotch. Okay.
since you're on the Eleanor train with me,
I hope
been-
Abe is on this Jack train with me because that'd be great. 2 against 2 right here. Let's go.
I don't think Abe's gonna be with you.
We'll see.
But since you're on the Eleanor train with me, right? I was reading, I mean, not reading, I was watching Comics Explained and all these other things. Their theory is they believe Eleanor is actually going to be depicted as Madame Mask.
I said in the beginning.
So if you think she's Madame Mask, then why would
Yeah.
you kill her?
Because she's also being the leadership. She's also in a leader role of the Traxxas Mafia. Because girl did not look bothered that there's a whole explosion in the basement. Girl's like, oh, the only time she was worried is that where was Kate? She did not care about the whole thing at the bottom because she knew about it. Like, I feel like the whole wardrobe went red. Also, because I work in production, so I feel like there's more things that they do on purpose with the red and everything going on. And girl did not look phased at all. Like, hey, there's a whole bombing. Girl did not give a fuck. All she care about, hey, what's my daughter, Kate? That's
I mean,
what she
yeah,
care about.
aliens are attacking, bro. But Chief, that's an interesting theory. But I'll say this, right? What does Fisk have to gain from killing Armand, right? During the auction, they talked about a singular head of organized crime, which would be the Kingpin. So that means that Kingpin was already Armand's boss. He's Eleanor's boss. He's all of their bosses. So what does he gain from killing Armand if Armand has to report to him anyway? I want to see where it goes, because I mean, it could be he could have ordered it, right? He could have ordered someone to get rid of Armand. We don't know. But I'm just saying, like, Armand's an underling. What does Fisk gain from killing an underling? You know what I mean?
That and Chief also Fisk. Remember, if this stays in the same continuity of what happened with Netflix, technically Fisk went to jail. People know of Fisk. So in the manufacturing running, what happens is that Fisk goes back to his old roots and he stays behind the scenes. He stays behind closed doors where he still does his evil villain type organization shit and everything, but he doesn't get, with his ties connected. So he doesn't want to make things public, being said in episode 2 or 3, that the boss will get mad where we made too much commotion. So if this is the top person that Hawkeye was looking for, then Fisk doesn't want things to be right out in the open with his organization.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see where it goes. But let's continue what you were talking about, Vash. Like, let's continue to talk about
Ronan
that
or
end
Kate.
fight with Kate versus the tracksuits. So, like I mentioned in the beginning, I love that these fights weren't easy for her. Like, she
Me
did
too.
get some really, really good hits in, but they fucked her up a little bit. So it's like,
Oh yeah,
so
the clown
she-
dude, I forgot what's his name in the comics, but the clown face guy that had the mask, he gave her the work.
yeah, they all like fucked her up. So, so the big one. Do you think that he has some kind of like latent like
Yes.
super soldier serum, like some? Because I mean,
Even with just a
he's
small
pretty
dose.
strong and durable, bro.
He breaks
because-
glass windows super easily, and then in episode 2, the arrow bounces right off of him.
Oh, it did? I did not know
I mean,
that.
yeah, I mean, because I mean the arrow doesn't have a point. It was the USB arrow,
Even
but
if
it's
it's a
like
USB
I
arrow,
don't know.
Oh yeah.
If
Oh.
I shoot that USB, if they're quote unquote the super archers that they are, that USB is still gonna is gonna do something.
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry.
I don't
I'm
think
sorry,
it's gonna
Steve.
match.
I'm
don't
not.
know.
I'm not an archer. I have tried archering, and a USB arrow has no point. I agree with James. I don't think like if I hit one to James even to his chest as well, it's gonna bounce off him or just
What
fall
is that
off.
supposed to mean, James? Even what does that mean?
Or Steve. I'm just saying like anybody.
I'm just giving you a hard time, bro.
Damn, again with the height. I was not
Oh, you
pointing
trying to
at
say I
that.
don't have a super serum?
What
Is
you
that
trying to
you're saying?
say, Vash?
Yeah, you trying to say I need to hit the gym?
Right? Which I
I'm
do.
just saying. I'm just saying. No, James. I'm just saying you're a build, dude. I'm just saying.
But Breezy, I'm with you. I love that Kate's fighting style was sloppy, right? Like it like it's going to be refined with her skill, but it's like because she's fighting people that don't fight by the rules, she has to switch it up, right? Because I mean, with fencing and archery, there's rules, right? There's rules to everything, and with this, like she has to become and like she has to exhibit those like brawler type fighting styles. So I
Yes.
did really like that a lot.
And plus, I love what you said about that, James, that the fights were wrong because of what she did with fencing and everything else. Those were skills that she had to learn in combat, but never in actual close quarters. And also, you have to learn and observe while fighting. So, this is something we learn with somebody else in the next episode, in the flashback in episode 3 as well, with said character named Echo. She has a different fighting style that we'll talk about later, but it shows you the difference of each character of how they have grown up in each of their different style. So I love how Kate was very wrong. She was losing and she was winning against some people. And I love how she got to work against literally almost all of them because she got and girl is rusty and it shows it because they literally found out who was Kate literally so fast. I'm like, oh, just
Yeah, I
literally
mean,
just
they're
finding
the
out.
mafia. They have people in the police. They have people everywhere. So it's like I wasn't surprised at all that they found her that quickly. But I love that Clint comes in and literally her hero saves her. Right?
It came the
I love
title,
that like that
Never Meet Your
genuine
Heroes.
sense of excitement. Like when Clint takes off his hood, he's like, "You're Hawkeye!" Like she was just so excited, man. Like it was so dope.
And Bo was so mad. He's like, fuck. Like,
Yeah, why did he say fuck? That's what I kind of want.
Because he wanted to punt someone, and then he also realized that
there's a
oh,
girl and is young.
because I mean, the whole point was to get rid of the suit. The suit is a symbol of
Like
like
his past.
of his past, and every single person in every mafia wants to kill Ronin. So it's like he genuinely wants to save this person, and then he realizes that it's a kid.
Yep.
She's 22 years old in this suit, and now everyone's after her. So it's like it's not even like someone my age or some shit. It's just this little girl to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's
and
like
Clint-
that's why he's upset. He's like, what have I gotten myself into? What have you gotten
Exactly.
yourself into?
Because Clint is literally in his real life, he's 50. In the show, in the MCU, I think it's like 40 or 45.
I have
so
no
for
idea.
him to for him to be seeing somebody half his age and also a girl and young, so like he was so mad because he literally was supposed to spend Christmas with his family. So he was so upset that he saw the Ronin on the TV and everything, and to see that expression, I love the way the episode ended. By the way, those cliffhangers gets me fucking tight. In these past 3 episodes,
really
these
good.
cliffhangers, they're good.
really good.
These have probably been the best cliffhangers throughout the whole TV because like these actually get me mad. I'm like, damn it, fuck. In the most recent shows, I'm like, I can wait next week. These, I'm like, damn, I need more. Why you do this to me?
Yeah,
But this was a good cliffhanger for episode 1, even though us talking about it and chat made me enjoy episode 1 more than me just feeling a
enjoyed
bit
all of it.
rough.
Yeah, for you to when you were saying that you thought it was kind of slow, I enjoyed all of
No,
it.
not slow. For me, it just felt very average. Like expected
Oh.
more. Maybe I had too much high expectation, or maybe I wanted to see more. Because the manufacturer run, Hawkeye's more of the main character, and Kate at the end of the run, she's more in the center. In this show, is more Kate we get and Hawkeye on the side. So I wanted more
I
Hawkeye
disagree.
first, and then Kate.
I actually think like one of my favorite parts of this first episode is how well it's balanced between Kate and Clint. Yes, Kate does get a little bit more towards the beginning because we don't know anything about her, right? So we needed to see where she came from. We needed to see the type of person that she is right now. How does she get the Ronin suit, and how does she interact with Clint, right? So because I felt it was pretty even, right? Because we got a bunch of scenes with Clint like questioning himself being a hero, people seeing him as a hero. I felt like we got a bunch of that. I felt like we got a decent amount of like what makes Kate tick, right? A sense of like
Yeah.
her family life. So I thought it was pretty well balanced, but I can definitely see where you're coming from though.
Yeah, like I said, like this conversation with Chandler, they helped me enjoy episode 1 more and the excitement of what each was. Maybe if I rewatch it again, maybe I'll enjoy a lot more. But overall, this conversation has made me enjoy episode 1 more. I have to give episode 1 my original score. What I told Sam and everything was a 3 out of 5. I have to give it now like a good 4 or 4.2 or 4.5 out of 5. Like it's actually enjoyable. The more I talk about with you guys, and the more I have fun with it.
Yeah. Any other final thoughts on episode 1 before we move on to episode 2?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. So.
For me too.
Yeah, so let's hit it, man. So episode 2, I feel like the episodes just got better and better, which is something that I love about the Marvel shows in general. Like each episode just keeps getting better and better. So the episode starts off, we get that flashback to the end of the first episode where Clint and Kate meet up in that alley. And then Clint and Kate go back to her place where we see Lucky, the pizza dog from the comic. I love that dog. I thought that was a really great reference for them to bring the dog from the comic into the show. And then they run into the tracksuits. So I thought this was really, really cool. What did you guys think about that?
I do love her reaction, that knowing that, oh, I have Hawkeye in my house. I have Hawkeye in my house. I need to go grab my bow. I need to grab my bow. Girl literally brings a bow and be like, can you sign this for me? And can you just say, like, just saying, I'm not trying to glow, but I am the world best archer. He was like, and who told you, who said that? Well, me, I tell myself that, like, I should love Haley Steinfeld, the way she just showed the excitement as a little girl.
She's amazing.
Seeing her hero, and I just love how she played Kate character so well in that scene. Even though at the time I felt like episode 1 was a bit slow for me, but episode 2 just made that scene a lot better for me, and just enjoyed it so much because of how Kate was just really fangirling, and Hawkeye don't really get that a lot. It's mostly Iron Man, Steve, Hawkeye, and Thor, but to actually get it for Hawkeye, for him to get a fangirling, and that was never his goal, but to see that, it kind of change him a bit. So I just love that very much.
I think he gets it, but again, he doesn't think he deserves it. You know,
correct.
Yeah,
he tries to avoid it.
I don't think he wants it because of the fact that everything that's gone on. And at the end of the day, I feel like he always feels like it should have been him that passed instead of Black Widow.
We're gonna talk about that more in the episode.
Yeah. So now it's just like, I should be dead. And then there's all this, oh, we love you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I killed all these people, and then I should have been the one to sacrifice myself. And that's he's dealing with that survivor's remorse.
Exactly, man. Like, yeah, go ahead, Vash.
I was gonna say, I also gotta give props to the set dresser as well, for her apartment, because they also shows a lot of her trophies, a lot of things that she has won, and a lot of stuff that the audience could notice that of why she's so skillful because of how many things she has won over the years. And Clint even noticed that slowly throughout episode 2, when the tracksuit guys literally pop up like, Kate Bishop, we know you're there. He like,
we know you're there,
and
bro.
Clint asks, how did they know? My name is on the buzzer. I'm like,
God damn it.
He's like, damn it, your name's on the buzzer. He was so disappointed there. Like, damn it.
All of those trophies and stuff was in the opening credits of the first episode too. Like,
true.
So like, I thought that was too.
But I like how they had to repeat it in case the audience did not pay attention.
It was good to see them, like, actually physically.
I thought that was a dope callback to how they did that and play with it.
And I love how Hawkeye was trying to grab the fire explosion bottles and throw it back at them. But I love how Kate grabbed her bow and arrow and just shot it, and he was impressed. He's like, oh, she's actually good. So, like, I love those type of reactions of him, like, slowly realizing that, oh, this might be a good apprentice. Like, he's not acknowledging it until episode 3 more. But I love in the scene that he's just, okay, like, cool. She could hold her own, but he still wants to protect her a lot.
Because I know in even in episode 1, she had like the wine bottle in her hand, and then somebody shot it out of her hand.
Yeah. So that was a nice callback.
I thought that was dope too. It's like payback. Like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot this shit out your hand too.
There is one thing that happens in episode 2 that I do think was really fucking stupid, and you guys can tell me what you think. But yes, the place was on fire, but I think they could have gotten the suit and then gotten out, right? The fact that they left the suit behind, it's like, well, we did it just so that the rest of the episode could happen. which is one of my favorite scenes, by the way. I can't wait to talk about that. But I'm like, just grab the suit. Tell Kate to get out with the dog, and just grab the suit, bro. Like,
But
you've been in these situations before.
exactly. just grab the suit. Like,
but this proves my point, or technically Hawkeye's point, that they're just human. So there was a fire there. So remember how right after they went back to Kate's aunt's house, and he had to actually teach her correctly how to heal a wound? It's because they're only human, and he had to go to a pharmacy just to actually buy the band-aids, the antibiotics, because Kevin said, you don't have Avengers mode. Like, no, I'm just a regular dude. Like, I have money because of Stark and everything, but I'm just a regular dude. So it shows that I love those type of things they learned from they took from the manufacturer comic, because he also showed Kate of how to properly take care of her, because they're only human beings. Hawkeye and Black Widow were literally the only human being against gods, even though Tony was a human too, but he had armor, nanotech, and everything. So
in a sense, didn't they want the suit to be gone anyway?
Yes, correct.
Okay,
but
so he might
have
thinking that it would burn.
But he wanted to ruin it himself.
The
like, he wanted to make
sprinklers
sure
turned
destroyed.
on, and then the fire trucks were already on their way. The police were on their way, so there was no way for the suit to actually burn. Like, he needed to dispose of it himself. So this is why I'm like, just grab it. Now, yes, Vash, you do bring up a really good point. There's fire everywhere. I'm doing the fan thing again, right? It's like, you're a superhero, just grab it. But to your point, he is just human, and he couldn't do it, right? So I take that back. So they go to the safe house, which is her aunt's house, and then he tries to go back for the suit. Obviously, the suit's not there. But I do love how he was able to sneak in. You know, he grabs the fireman jacket, the hat. He goes in.
There's no way nobody noticed that. Like,
yeah.
I literally was like,
I was literally like, that's Hawkeye. No one, it's Hawkeye, bro.
like I'm a guy in the street who observe a lot. Like, James was walking with me in the city. You probably pay attention that I always look around. There's no way, literally, Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, a hero, an Avenger, was literally, I'm gonna just take
it's
this.
Like, yes, he is a spy. He knows how to do this stuff, but I'm like, bro, you're in America. You're Hawkeye. There's so many people here. Like,
there's cameras everywhere in the fucking lamppost and everything. So there's
Steve,
no way.
What did you think, man? Like,
I was pretty much like Mission Impossible type bullshit. Like, he's just like, just grab his and
yeah, because Tom Cruise does the same thing too. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Tom Cruise would be walking around
with the disguise on real quick, and I'll just sneak in. Pink Panther type shit. Like, but I mean, I didn't think anything of it. I just was like, all right, whatever. Like, I just kind of just let it go. But him going back for the suit, like you said, like, obviously it's not going to be there, and then he finds the app, you know what I'm saying? He finds out that one of the firefighters got the suit, which is hilarious.
Yeah, he sees a sticker on the fire truck that says
Just
New York City LARPers.
LARPers, yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
Which I prefer this over the fucking musical. I prefer this over the musical.
I love
this scene was amazing because this felt like D&D real life, and I love it.
I want to do one of those one day.
Right?
Me too, because I love how Clay was like, wait, so I gotta wear this too? Like, yeah, and this is your code of honor. You gotta wear this all the time. This is your code that you live by. Kenneth's face was like, this is some bullshit.
Fine.
This is some fucking bullshit. And then like how he's like, people are like they're swinging at him. He's like, get the fuck.
But then he starts having fun though.
Yeah.
He starts having fun.
He did.
He's like, he's so down and like, you know, down on himself and just like hard on himself. And it seems like he's slowly opening up a little bit more as the show is going on. So I'm thinking that's the character development we'll get. By episode 6, he'll be super goofy or something and having fun with it. But right now, he's still like going through his like motion, going through the motions. And then, you know what I'm saying? He's going to slowly open up and get better.
Yeah, because I love how he approached the guy like, hey, that's my suit. I need that. He's like, hey, can we fight about it? And like if you want it, can we do a little?
Let me kill you.
Let me kill you.
He's like, I can just whoop your ass.
He like, please, like, yeah, like, please, I know who you are. Just give me this. This is my one time in a lifetime. He's like, I just love the way he said it, his posture. He's like, I fought Thanos. Like, he just said it once, but he just felt like he said it twice in his head. He's like, do I
this
really have to
is
do this
so
bullshit?
beneath him. This dude fought with gods against other gods on a battlefield, literally carrying the Infinity Gauntlet, and now he's LARPing. It's
Like,
fucking
he felt like he
hilarious,
went
bro.
down so below, and the way that he had to fall that and pretend he died, it was just so
He's like,
awesome.
"Oh."
Like, I had such a great time watching this. I'm like, yes, it's just amazing.
I had a
don't mind
great
watching this-
time, and it made me sad at the same time, because when he says, "Please, I want you to kill me," there's parts of him that wishes that
That
he
wanted
could die.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just like he doesn't feel like he
Is alive.
has earned the right to continue living. His best friend's dead. She sacrificed herself while he's out after murdering dozens of people. But at the same time, you know, and I'm not going to go into a tangent or anything, but that's also why Natasha wanted to sacrifice herself. She's killed dozens of men, women, and children, and this was her way of wiping the slate clean. Because of her sacrifice, she saved trillions. So this is what I really like about what Kate Bishop is, what her role is in this series, is that she's reminding Clint, like, dude, you're a hero. The reason why I am the person that I am today is because of you. You inspired me. With everything you have going on, you left your family at Christmas to be here with me, helping
stranger.
me, to help
With
a
a stranger that-
stranger. That's
I
a
love that
hero,
line.
bro. So it's, yeah.
It was just beautiful because even Bree said that I'll work with you, but work with me too. Is that Clint just wanted something, like he just wanted to come in and get out, but the dude's like, yo, I could give it to you. Just work with me too, like, man, like I want something out of it. And I found that so beautiful that he did that. And I enjoy the phone call too with his wife when he went back he went back to his locker, or I don't know where he went, probably Grand Central, I don't know where. And when we went to drop off the stool, the conversation that his wife knows the truth about the stool, I love that. It shows that he was honest when girl got blimped back and everything, and said like, hey, these 5 years was hard on me. I went to a dark side. This happened. I'm happy that the kids don't know. Will they know in the future? Who knows? But I'm glad the wife knows that he doesn't have to lie to her. Like she still accepts him even with the flaws that he has made. So
Yeah.
I love that very much.
Never
as
lie
well.
to your wife, man. Never, ever, ever.
Yeah, like your partner will still accept you, flaws or not, perfect or not. So I
A
love
good
that.
one.
Yeah. So I just love that conversation happened. So Steve, like being with kids and everything and with a partner, how did that feel? Like with Clint being honest, knowing that his wife knows about him being wrong and everything, how do you feel about that scene?
I thought that was really dope because of this. If like how me and we had a conversation about it before when JB had said a while ago, he was like, half of the universe is getting snapped away, but for some reason, my entire family got snapped away. That's not fair.
It's not.
So you can understand his outrage and everything like that. So I can only imagine, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure his wife was like, I can only imagine what I would have done in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe I wouldn't have killed everybody, but I understand like why you were hunting people down, doing the things that you were doing. So the fact that she understood that and stuff like that, it just showed the bond of a spouse and a strong foundation, like a family and everything like that. And then the fact that, like you said, he's not lying about it. He didn't hide it, because let's say that he did lie about it in the past. Now we're here where he's trying to track down the suit. And now what do you tell your wife? You see what I'm saying? So it's always great to just be open and just, you know what I'm saying, talk these things through. So I understand that. I felt that because if some shit like that happened where there was a snap and I'm the only one, what do I got to lose?
Yeah.
Like
and to Clint's point is like, why do you get to live? You people are murderers, human traffickers, you know, people who commit like sexual assault and stuff like that. Why do you get to live? Why did you not get snapped away? And my 3 kids and my wife got snapped away. So it's like I would lose it too, man. Like I would
Yep.
lose it too. Like human
And I have the
traffickers are
power to stop
walking
you.
around having fun. Like no, bro, I would lose it.
No. And I have the power to stop you. Like, yeah, we taking care of this. Like, might as well, because at the end of the day, what am I living for? Everybody's gone.
Yeah.
So even if something happens where I do pass or I die in this situation, so be it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can understand it.
Yeah, man. So
I agree.
so yeah, obviously Clint decides the best thing to do is send his kids back home, and Kate gets a call from Detective Cottle, who comic book fans would know from the comic. So I'm interested to see like what role he's going to play in all of this. Like whenever Kate goes to see him, what is that conversation going to look like?
This is a nice fucking damn cop in New York City, because any cop would be like, bring your ass down to the station right now. That shit got me tight. Like, oh my God, that felt such a rich person. Because when I saw that scene, and Kate was like, I can't go right now. Can I go tomorrow? He's like, sure. That works for me. I'll see you tomorrow at the station. And I'm like, damn, you rich people. Because he said no problem. I'm
I
like,
mean, technically, he can't force her. I mean, I can only assume that he might want to ask her questions about potential
her apartment being
arson
fired on her.
or
Yeah.
exactly. You know, he's looking
But
out for her
still, it's like-
safety, but yes.
it's just like the most chillest cop. Like, yeah, come tomorrow, no problem, no big deal, and everything. But we also should talk about her mom, her mom job, her business. That is
Bro,
very
real quick. This is the most like stereotypical mob shit ever. She owns a fucking security company.
Thank you.
What do mobs do? Offer protection. Come on, guys. She's a mob boss. Come on.
Madam Man.
But also, where did she get this in money? The insurance money from her,
Well,
from
her
her
husband.
death.
Yeah.
Yeah, her husband death and everything.
Like,
So
he
it just
was-
worked out.
They were literally arguing about money. And how
Literally,
they
right before he
struck- and then all
Life
of a
insurance
sudden,
policy.
Hey, my husband died here because of the battle in New York.
he
This happened.
dies, opening
And he died by a
credits,
rock.
She shows up with a wine glass, red dress, and a mink. And it's like, what just happened? Like,
And yo, like the mom and the new fiance were just both chilling in the room. Jack was both chilling in the office, and Kate comes in like, "Hey, mom, we gotta talk." And like, "Oh, hi, Jack and everything." And they say, "Hey, wanna come to dinner?" And she said, "You know what? Sure, but I'm gonna make the topics. I wanna know to talk about." Like, Kate, I was like, "No, you're gonna fuck yourself over. Like, you jumping the gun. Wait until you get more evidence." But she's like we said, she's new to this. She
Yeah, she's
doesn't know
very
about
naive.
patience. She doesn't know that you can literally be sleeping with the enemy, aka living with the enemy. So you don't know what the hell's about to happen. Like, who could attack you, who could kill you, who could literally backstab you. Literally, your own mom could backstab you. So it's just crazy what could happen. And
Another thing about her mom, right? Like her mom is not very attentive at all, right? Because when Kate goes to Bishop Security, that's the first time her mom says anything about the apartment being on fire. How's about maybe after you hear that it happens on like the fucking news? Hey, Kate, you all right? You good?
you
She
all
doesn't
right?
even call her, bro.
didn't care.
rich parents don't give a fuck.
I mean,
Until
she's
a
a
day or two
cold
later.
mob boss. That's what it is. She's just cold. Because I
But
mean,
remember-
look back at the first episode when she was having the argument with Derek, right? When they figure out that Kate overheard the argument, Derek asks her like, "Are you gonna go talk to her?" And she's like, "Who are you? Who am I kidding? Like, you do it," because she's not the emotional one that would be able to console Kate. That's not what she
That-
does.
And what's
That-
even crazier is he asked Kate, he's like, how much of that did you hear? Like he actually cares about what she heard and things of that nature, whereas she wouldn't even go in there and talk.
You remember what Kate's mom said, that she called her, "You just like your dad." Like, she has a lot of her dad influence and personality, but also is that Kate's mom just doesn't care too much about Kate, because remember what she said in the first episode. She said, "You're young, you're reckless, and you act like you're rich because you're invincible." So that's why another reason why I don't think Kate's mom called her, because she's like, "Oh, her apartment was on fire, probably probably my daughter's good. She's probably out there in the streets. Who knows? So, or probably she thought that she'd be coming to work because technically she did work the next day.
Or she heard from the tracksuits that she got away.
Right. That's a really good point. So she knows that she's okay, but you still should call your daughter, bro. Like, you should still make that phone call.
But
she doesn't.
Yo, these MCU parents are ass. These MCU parents don't care about the kids. James won't get emotions. Stop being cold-hearted.
But what did you guys think about the fencing sequence between her and Jack?
I love it. It's nice to see some fencing because a lot of people don't take that as a high skill because that's a very high skill to have, and it's good for and that is Olympics. But trust me, I have spoken to people and said that's not a real sport. And I'm like, that's in the fucking Olympics. What the fuck you talking about? Not real sport.
In the Olympics.
It's just ridiculous. But I love the scene very well. I thought Jack was gonna win a round at least, but no, like Kate said, he's being very soft on me. He's not playing, he's not being serious. And then she did Jack did the what again, James? The pair? I keep forgetting. Parry. So he did the so skillful, and the cut was very good too. Like the cut of the nice editing.
Yeah, with
made it look very well.
Sword spinning, standing up, the way it's perfect. I mean it's all great Easter eggs to his comic book origins, you know?
Yeah. So maybe Swordmaster is Swordmaster, or he's just a regular evil villain mustache James Bond.
I mean, I think he's definitely, like I said, he's an opportunist. He's not above, like, you know, doing illegal things to get what he wants. And I mean, there's no way that he's engaged to Eleanor and doesn't know what she does. I think they're working together. They're very involved, but she pulls the strings. And yes, Tracksuit Mafia is a really stupid fucking name, but in the comics, they were the Tracksuit Draculas, so it could have been worse.
I could have, and I'm happy. I'm also for those that didn't read the comic run, the Tracksuit Bros literally say "bro" at the end of every goddamn line. So I'm happy they don't say
bro.
Yeah, but like they say in every single line they have said in the comic run.
It makes me
so
laugh.
I'm happy. I'm happy they didn't do it here. Like, yeah, it's fine if they say "bro" in every other line, or one person at least says it. But I'm happy not every single person, because that would have driven me nuts. Like in the comic run, you don't have to read it or skip the bro line. But in a TV show, nah, bro, nah.
One of my favorite moments from this episode is pretty much towards the very end of it, where Clint is on the phone, where he's putting away the suit inside the locker. He's talking to his wife, and then he tells her he's going to go to the tracksuits, try to clean everything up, and do catch and release. And then, she says, like, that was an old move from Natasha, and we know that's homage to Natasha from the beginning of the first Avengers movie. So I thought that was really, really cool, where he gets himself caught and then, gets all the information he needs, clears Kate's name and escapes, right? Well, that was the original plan. And they actually thought they caught Hawkeye. Like, we caught you. It was easy too, bro.
Like, he said, like, yo, bro, we got you. I'm like, really? You think you caught Hawkeye? Like, he literally came at you guys and but he said, hey, guys, I see through the back. He said, no, you don't, bro. I'm like, he literally telling you guys he sees it. You don't listen to him. But I love that James brought up, because I was like, wait, didn't Natasha do the same thing when she was with the Russian people too? The same type of, almost probably the same mafia. Instead, it's just back in Russia. I think the Russian boss that was like old and everything, he said, oh yeah, we caught you, miss. And he's like, no, I let myself get caught. I need the information,
bro.
He's like, no, that's my job. Like, no, I'm here the one. And then girl just got out and everything and did the whole jumping. And then girl got the phone call from what's his name? Damn, I forgot he died.
Who? Oh yeah, Coulson.
Thank you, Coulson. I hope he comes back. Honestly, with this whole timeline mix up, I hope he comes back. Not to have a whole tangent, but I hope he comes back.
I mean, if they make Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon within the MCU, I mean, yeah, sure, he's technically still alive, but I mean, who knows if they will? I think they should. They already brought Coulson back for Captain Marvel. Yes, that was like a prequel, but why not? Clark Gregg would love to do it. Why would he not be back in. But I love that Hawkeye has everything under control. And he's like, yeah, I have no idea who Kate Bishop is. I don't know who Ronan is. Never met her in my life. And then she literally falls from the fucking roof.
It is like,
And
it's like every time you feel like he's like, oh, okay, you showing some skill, and then it's like, what the fuck?
But also, I love how this also is a nice callback to her father's to her mom saying, "You let things fall from the sky." Literally, Kate falling from the ceiling, from the sky to the bottom. So like, I love those callbacks. I love those foreshadowings. Very nice and thought through. And in the beginning of episode 3, not to jump, but they literally got handcuffed to a pony from a fucking arcade.
Hilarious.
That was hilarious and so sad. Like, yeah, literally tortured these guys. So like, this was hurtful. So it's just bad. But,
Yeah, I'd love to get into it. Any final thoughts on episode 2?
No, I don't think. I don't think we missed anything. Chat. Let us know if we missed anything to talk about episode 2. If not, I think it was Brian could dip out now since we're about to jump on episode.
Yeah, Brian,
3.
we're gonna talk about episode 3 right now. Go watch it, man. It was a really, really good episode.
You're
Definitely
gonna
one of the better ones.
You're gonna love that one-shot camera shot. Oh my god, I love it. That's probably
There's
one of my
so
race,
many
one
of
my
them
favorite
in
race
all
sequence.
of these episodes. Like, I love one take shots. Like, there's in the opening sequence of the first episode, there's a one take shot of her coming down the stairs after the Chitauri start wrecking everything. There's another one take when she's in the Ronin suit later on in that episode. So I love one takes, bro. So I'm looking for them every time they happen.
Same, but let's jump to episode 3 then.
See you, Brian.
They come back with them just laughing at at Hawkeye and Kate. Wait, episode 2 did end up with Echo, but
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So episode 2 ends with us seeing Echo, aka Maya Lopez, and that was really, really cool. I love the introduction to that character, and then at the beginning of this episode, we get a really cool backstory. Right? She's in school. You can tell that she's a really, really fast learner. She's able to read lips really, really well, and I love that conversation between her and her dad. Right, where he's like, you're going to have to learn to live in both worlds, and it's going to make you stronger. And it really, really does. So it helps her in school. Like, she's reading the teacher's lips to pay attention with the lessons. She's ahead of all of the other kids in class. Like, what did you guys think about that scene?
My first scene, when Maya Lopez asks her father about dragons and everything, and when the father said, "Oh, they live in a different dimension," I'm like, "Is this a callback to Shang-Chi? Because technically they do live in a different dimension." So I'm not sure if that's a callback to that. And then when Maya asks, "Will they come to our world?" They said, they could live in both worlds. I'm like, is that a callback back to Shang-Chi? Because they technically came back to our world and they live in both worlds. So I'm like, is that a reference to the movie? So that's pretty dope. And the observation that we learned that most people don't know from the comments, Echo is very similar to Taskmaster. She could replicate other people's skill set in a very well type of form because of how skillful she's very observant and her skills to fight. And it shows that she was watching the other 2 kids fight in her karate class. Was that karate class, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she watched 2 kids fight, and then it's her turn. Her father had to dip, and her father said, "Uncle will take you back home." Then we just see a guy, big dude, big hand, some big thumbs, and some time of shoulder. I think it was his chin, and he just chuckle. That's fucking Kingpin. I won't let nobody tell me that's not Kingpin.
Yeah, we saw like right below his chest, but I mean, the size of the guy, the tailored suit, the cufflinks, the laugh, like, I mean, come on, like
that sounds like
connected to the tracksuit mafia. Come on, dude, come on.
Like, that's literally his
you
chuckle.
You don't even have to hide his face. Like, just show us.
But they probably want to surprise us or be like, "Oh my god, that's Kingpin."
I guess
so.
People that don't know.
Yeah, but I love that scene that once the kid that saw her prosthetic leg, he felt bad to fight her. And then literally
Yeah, that was his
once the
mistake.
teacher master said go, literally went pop pop and push him down. I was like, ooh, that was smooth. That's a good editing and good fight scene. So I love that.
Yeah, it was probably his fault he lost. It was like, no,
Yeah.
fight an opponent on equal ground, son. But Steve,
Mhm.
what did you think about the opening and getting all of that backstory to Maya? Because it's done pretty quickly, but it's very concise, man. Like we get the relationship with her father, like I mentioned before. We get a glimpse into how she learns, how fast she learns. Like, what did you think?
I thought that was dope because of the fact that like she's learning fast, she's picking up on the fly, but it also goes back to a callback of Daredevil, um, how you lose one sense and then everything else becomes stronger. So she
And
doesn't have her hearing, so she's picking up on things very fit. You know what I'm saying? Because she has to. She has to make sure that she's back in the pack, or at least ahead of the pack. You know what I'm saying? Because of even though she has a disability, nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna, treat you differently. Nobody's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna give you a handicap just because you have a disability. So she needs to be ahead of the game. So that's what she's doing. She's reading the teacher's lips. She didn't have to wait for the teacher to come to her and sign. She's like, no, I already got it. You know what I'm saying? Like she's ahead of it. And I appreciate the fact that, you know what I'm saying, she basically lost a sense and then she's gonna be ahead. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
thought that was a callback back to Daredevil, which
yeah,
also
great
gives
pull,
you,
dude.
yeah, it gives you back to Kingpin. So that's
Yeah,
so it's all
and
leading to it.
and plus I love the switch because for her father is also listed for the rest of the episodes. So most likely we're gonna be seeing more flashbacks of her
nice.
father and everything else. And for those that don't know the comics, Kingpin is the one that actually kills her father. And later on, Kingpin tells her that hey, I'm gonna kill her and everything. So then she does betray him and everything. So I'm curious to see what they did with the switch with Ronin killing the father and how's this going to connect to Kingpin and everything else. Does Ronan, aka Haka, know about Kingpin? That's why he chose to take him out, go to the higher ups because
Definitely.
that's what he said. So I'm curious to know if he knows about Kingpin, if this is more connected to the what happened in the Daredevil show. So curious to know about that. So I like the flashback. I like when he passed away as well, or technically when he was dying. He told her, "Fly, my little dragon." So that's also very
Get out of the
symbolic as
game.
well.
Yeah, get out of the game. Get away. Like,
Yeah.
don't be like me. Like, he's pretty much telling her that, and she's just,
Even though Gert did the whole opposite.
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I mean,
keep revenge.
vengeance, man. She
Yeah.
wants to get Ronin, you know?
Mm-hmm. So, not mad at that at all.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
I
mad.
can't wait to learn more about her character. Like I love when when she starts interrogating Clint and Kate, like she starts signing to him cuz she sees like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
neutral ground between them. So I kind of like that a little bit. And I want to see if Clint is going to utilize those skills, like you were saying, Steve, like not relying so much on his hearing aid and like feeling those vibrations and like trying to figure out like how he can strengthen like his other senses
Mhm.
because he doesn't have his hearing anymore. So I would be very interested in seeing where that goes.
That'd
Yeah.
be very dope because the whole fight scene, when when Hawkeye was doing the uh, LCL, I think it's called,
ASL.
ASL, when they were having the conversation, and 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 then Maya asked him like, "Hey, who's Ronan?" He's like, "Do I want some cookies?" He tried to avoid it, like avoid actually responding. So he's like, "Damn, I messed up," but like he did that on purpose, not trying to be very good at it. I'm like, huh, okay, Hawkeye. And then the fight scene with him trying to get out and actually doing good and him getting comfortable, it showed the difference that once he lost his hearing aid, he felt like he was off balance. He was not on his groove. But then once he's got his bow and arrow, he was back in the game. He was still doing well. Even though he can't hear, he was back in the groove because he just shot an arrow and saved Kate, and Gert did her own thing as well.
Mhm. I thought it was dope too. I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but the hearing loss that we get, that's character development throughout. Hawkeye story in general. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And for that explosion to happen, everybody else kind of like had protection. Like Tony Stark is in the Iron Man suit, War Machine is in the Iron Man suit. They all have like some kind of protection. And he's the only one out there, like kind of like just human in general. So when that explosion happens, there's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no suit to protect me from my ears. There's no, Hulk gamma radiation thing. There's none of that for me. That's just I'm just out there. And for that shit to happen, and it just shows like, you know what I'm saying, that he was the human side of him that Bash said. You know what I'm saying? He is a human. And so he's got that hearing aid and things going on. So and then that conversation where she decides to sign to him and she cuts him loose, that was pretty much okay. Well, you just let him escape because now you cut his hands loose, even though they taped him up from behind. But it's like I got many ways to get out of here now. So she basically cut him loose and didn't even realize that she had cut him loose or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool too.
That, but also I love how in a montage showing that how Clint probably lost his hearing because Kate actually, hey, how do you lose hearing? And we get the nice flashback, nice montage of like 5 or 10 different times of explosions and him falling, and then him answering, I don't really know. But he's like, damn shit, so many explosions, so many falling times.
Yeah,
I'm
too
like,
many
damn,
to
he's
count,
really
man.
been, yeah, like too many
Maybe-
counts. Like, damn, he's been through the shit.
After a while,
And just-
just earplugs, dude. Like do something. Like you need them.
Yeah,
You can
like, you know
only be
what?
ground
Let's just
zero
stop
for
counting.
so many explosions, bro, before you lose your hearing.
That's why I like that because that's the realism of it. Because like
Yep,
there's
agreed.
times where I'll be watching The Walking Dead and I'm like, man, they did a lot of shooting. Like,
Right? Like, a lot, bro.
Everybody should be dead, a death by by the time this going on. But go ahead.
Chief, I agree. Everyone else had a suit except Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Iron Man,
everybody-
Hulk,
Iron Man.
Rhodey, Tony, everyone except Hawkeye. He's just chopped liver out here. But
Just out there naked.
even Kate brought up in episode 2 and plus in episode 3 about branding because girl gave the
Yeah.
classic eye of Hawkeye. Literally said, "Oh, what's that like? The Hawkeye, the H and everything,
God,
and just threw
That
the classic
headpiece was
suit."
so terrible.
It
Oh.
works in the comics, it works in the cartoons, but live action it doesn't. But I love how Clint even said,
It never worked.
no, one reason I will never wear this, if I wear this, my wife will leave me.
Facts.
And I understood that, and I'm like, oh shit, he got a point. And like I understood that as a character and as a person who has a partner, and he has morals, but also as a person who said that he responded to Kate with the truth. All my life, I have been not to be branded, not to be public. I've been covert. My job was not to be public, but he told Kate, and Kate was like, "Oh," and even Kate was jumping off the action sequence, but even Kate even starting to put the pieces, which I assume by the next 2 episodes or by episode 6, Kate is gonna realize that Ronan is Hawkeye, because she even said like, the reason I think you're trying to hide it because you know who Ronan is, and that's why you're trying to protect it. So, because they don't find out from it. Ooh.
Yeah.
I think that would be when she does find out and that realization, that's going to be a really dope scene because of the fact that she idolizes him so much. That's her hero. So to see when she finds out that, you know what I'm saying, he's Ronan, who is a person that's been on a murder spree and all these other things, that I think that's going to be a really good scene, and that's going to give some good dialogue.
Yeah.
Sure.
When Maya asks him like what happened to Ronan, I love that he says that Natasha killed him, right? Because without Natasha, he still would have been on that path, right? It wasn't until his best friend showed up telling him, "Yo, there is a chance that we can get your family back," and that was the moment that Ronan died. So that was a really important moment to me.
And I love that line because it's true. Because she even asks, "Wait, so Ronan died?" And then she asks, "So who can Ronan like?" So Ronan died, but then Natasha died. So the 2 people that are involved in that, and then she asks, how do you know? Like, oh, because I was there too. So he kind of put himself in a sandwich that he can't really get out of, because how can you tell the truth but the lie at the same time for them to believe you? So it's kind of hard, you telling the truth and the lie at the same time.
Yeah,
It's a
so
different
let's get into
aspect.
the car chase sequence, man. I love this car chase sequence. I
Agree.
love them trying to choose between the Charger and can't remember what the other car was, but for those who have
Chrysler.
read the Matt Fraction comic, like they drive the Charger in the comic, so it's very funny to see them like switch it up and then like
Mhm.
go with this older car.
Yeah, the Chrysler, the old
Yeah, the
Chrysler.
Chrysler. Yeah,
And plus, in the comic, that is Natasha's car too.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And like, and they still mess up, because at that he said, "We still mess up the Charger." Ah, damn it! Like, so
Mm-hmm.
I actually love how they brought that back up and everything. But Kate, throughout the whole time, she was excited because she said, "You got trick arrows? Cool!" And just we just kept going to trick arrows, and girl was so upset. You got a suction cup? Like, what does that do? And then girl finally realized that, oh, I see the usefulness of the
Yeah.
suction cup.
Yeah.
It
So,
brought
Steve, what were some of your favorite like moments and like trick arrows from the car chase sequence? Because we had the putty arrow. There's like the gas arrow that she
Luke.
uses, the
I like
plunger
the
arrow, the Pim arrow. Can't
yeah.
wait to talk
Oh,
about
the
that
pin
shit.
arrow is dope.
The Pym arrow is pretty cool too. The Pym arrow, when he shoots it in the sky and it connects and it to the other arrow and it gets huge. I thought that was dope. But I like the little link arrow that they used that pulled all the Christmas trees.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty dope. I like that one. It's I like that most of these arrows were non-lethal. I like the route that he was going
Except
this way.
one,
Yeah,
the
except for the
explosive
expo-
arrow.
So he's trying to go. You can tell he's still trying to change his ways from the Ronin, you know what I'm saying, aspect too. So he's using a lot of non-lethal arrows and things like that, trying to redeem himself in a sense. But I my favorite arrow is definitely the one where he's pulling in. I don't even know what it would be called, but he's pulling all the Christmas trees in, and then they get stuck on them and it clouds their vision and everything like that.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I think what did he call it? She asked him like, what was that arrow called? He was like, "Sorry, Santa."
Yeah.
Oh yes. I'm like, wow, really? That's a good pun. But for me, my favorite arrow was the Pim arrow, because like the first time that him and his future protege worked together, because he had like, okay, you shoot this arrow all the way up and aim it coming down and everything, and he just timed it perfectly, and we just get the beautiful pin particle. And I love how the last time he used little pin particle, AK, was with Paul Rudd himself on the arrow. So I just love how he has pin particles from Paul Rudd character and with Hank. So like, I guess Hank and them trust him enough to actually have pin particles. Like, here, you might use this, you might need this. Here's some pin particles. So that shows
Yeah, I
actual
need
trust.
that episode where he's like, "All right, Hank, I need like a Pim arrow." Like, I just need that conversation.
Yeah, like, Hank, I need a good 5, 6, just to have it in my little nice restock and everything. So that was dope. But also, I just love the interaction of both of them, with Clint not able to hear what she's saying, because Clint was like, "Hey, you drive, I'm gonna shoot, okay?" And then Kill was like, "I don't know how to drive," and Kill was like, "What? I can't hear you." And then they just started to drive and just started going with the beautiful action sequence. And plus, the one take, one shot was so beautiful, well
The
done as well.
camera just rotates. Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was really really dope.
I like that. And then they finally have to like change it to handheld mode as she comes out of the window and shoots
Yeah,
the
yeah.
arrow. I thought
Yeah.
that was dope. That was really cool.
Yeah, man. One of my favorite moments from that is just like when they jump off the bridge together, and it's the homage to Hawkeye jumping off the building the first time she sees
Yep.
him, and she's doing it together with her mentor. Like, I thought that was such a touching moment. Just to piggyback off of what you were saying, Vash, when they were on the train, like she's talking about like, yeah, we should feed the dog. Like the dog's been in all day and he's not hearing anything. Like, it was hilarious.
And then he responded like, you're right. It's true what they say. And he took a long pause. You are the greatest warrior archer. And she was like, oh, yeah. And then
You
like
really
2
think
seconds
so?
later, oh, and we should walk the dog. She was like, oh, yeah. But her like in her mind, like, I just sat there, but I'm gonna just agree and just nod. So it's just great comedy. It did not feel forced. It was nice timing, and I gotta give her props. I really wonder how many takes it took to actually have good timing for this. If it was just a one take shot, I felt like they did a great job for it.
Yeah, man. Like they play off of each other really, really well. So that was a really, really fun sequence. And then they switch it up a little bit, right? We get back to the safe house, we get back to her aunt's house, and then he gets a call from his youngest son, right? So
Ah,
this was fucking
Nathaniel,
beautiful. So Steve, I want to start with you, man. Like, what did you think about that scene where it's like Kate's there writing down, like transcribing everything the kid's saying because he
girls,
can't
quick with
hear
the writing.
anything, and it's like the kid just wants him home for Christmas, and it's like he knows that he might not make it, but it was such a touching scene. What do you think?
I thought that was dope. Um, so in that scene, she's writing everything down. She said he says basically no movies and things like that. These are all the things that they talked about in episode one of what do you want to do for Christmas.
Correct. Yep.
Kind of basically the son says like decorating and gingerbread thing and everything like that. The daughter says movie marathon, and then the next one is the ugly Christmas sweater thing or whatever. So he's already missed two with the movies thing. So it's it's I'm pretty sure that he might miss the ugly Christmas sweater thing at this rate. And it's like dang man, like I've already missed like the only thing that I wanted to do was spend time with my family. I've already missed the last 5 Christmases with my family. And now I got the opportunity to spend it with them and I'm about to miss another one. You know, like it's just like, dang, man. So I thought that was really, really like one of those things where it's like it's a tug of war at your heart. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, all right, well, I know he needs to do this because you know what I'm saying he's the hero. That's what he's supposed to do. But at the same time, you always see like, you know what I'm saying, being a hero comes with its sacrifices. And so far, your family is the one that's getting sacrificed. But the good thing is you were honest with your partner about what's going on and with the Ronin suit. So now you know what I'm saying, she still just understands a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So but yeah, that scene was like oof. It's kind of tough just missing those times because I've missed, you know, I've been on deployments and crap like that too. So I've missed like those Christmases and shit like that. So I'm like, yeah, this sucks. Like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, man, it was such a touching scene, and
mm.
and we cut back quickly to the Tracksuit Mafia's base because they're moving out, and I love that their moving company is Trust a Bro Moving Company.
just I think that's cool how they're playing doing callbacks to the comic and everything like that
Yeah,
with the bro and stuff like that without actually making them say bro every scene. I think that's
Yep.
very clever how it works.
And I like how Maya and the character, I think his name is or his full name is
Kazi.
Clown. Yeah, Kazi, thank you. I love how they talk, and I love how he was honest, like, hey, we gotta talk. And then she was like, we can talk right now. And then he's like, these guys haven't taken the time to learn ACL, so you don't have to worry about this. And she was like, okay, cool, let's talk. And then he's like, you know, boss, what I like about this, and what I said earlier is that AK Kingpin, if he is the one in charge of all this and everything, he doesn't want traction. He doesn't want public eye. He doesn't want his gang, his organization to be more causing more havoc. And then I was like, I'm the one in charge right now. I'm the one that took after Uncle. Yeah, listen to me. But like this, I feel like is gonna bite her in the ass and get her in trouble, Kingpin.
Yeah, I think Uncle will definitely have a talk with her.
Uncle. I have a feeling he's gonna show up in episode 5 or 6 because next week is episode 4, and then episode 5. I think episode 5 isn't it supposed to come in between? No, yeah, episode 5 and 6 is between Spider-Man No Way Home.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that would be
I think
interesting.
that would be amazing if we get a Kingpin appearance in Spider-Man and then he shows up in Hawkeye for that next episode. Oh, that would be
That'd be dope, but there would be there would be different timeline.
it'll be
So
different
very
timelines, yeah.
so I'm very curious
But
to see how's that gonna affect each other or how's that gonna correlate because Spider-Man No Way Home is before Hawkeye. So I'm curious to see how's that gonna affect Kingpin. and if we're gonna see Matt Murdock as well.
I
Right.
don't know, man.
But I just think that would be dope just because it would show like the scheduling and the timing that Marvel has. Like that would be really dope if they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But right before they go to the diner, Clint and Kate go to the doctor to get his hearing aid fixed, and he checks his phone and sees one of the text messages from Kate. Kate texted him, "Good thing they call you Hawkeye and not Hawk Ear."
Hawk ear.
I thought that was fucking hilarious, bro.
It was because Ken was like, delete block. I was like,
Delete
hey.
blocked.
He didn't take no second to think of it. He like, she done. It goes forward.
I'm sick of your shit.
But it's funny. But it's funny of how Maya says that he trusts too much in technology when his literally weapon is a bow and arrow, and my guy still has a flip phone. But he has to. So it's like it's very funny.
Yeah, because
how
he's
it's the
not
smallest
trusting his
thing.
senses, you know?
Correct. So I just love how it's the smallest things. It's not the main thing, having Twitter, social media, anything like that. So I just love how that's very important about it.
Kate reminds me a lot of when Peter Parker had Iron Man's number. And and he
yeah.
just
Yeah,
kept hitting him up.
Happy's number,
Happy.
yeah.
He just kept hitting up Happy just randomly. And Happy's like, dog. Like,
Hey, Happy, we have a mission today? Hey, what's going on?
that's
But hey, man, I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
To do a mission again? I'm here. I'm here. I'm a lunch break. Do we have a mission? I could go save out the world.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, that was a
Hawkeye
cool
definitely
homage,
told
yeah.
her, he's like, please, just don't hit me up. And she just keeps hitting him up. And he's just finally like, all right, fine. Block.
I'm curious to see after episode 6 ends and everything how this is gonna affect the next Young Avengers. Because for those that don't know as well, Kate Bishop is in the Young Avengers with Wanda and plus Vision kids and other characters that we have seen within the future of the MCU film. So I'm really curious to see how this is gonna affect the Young Avengers as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, my prediction for the series is episode 6, he officially retires. Clint stays with his family. He never picks up the mantle ever again because he knows that the mantle is safe with Kate and she'll be able to carry it on and she'll be helping people. But yeah, I think Clint definitely retires forever by the end of Hawkeye episode 6. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna retire.
I think he retires. Like JB said, I think we'll get I don't think he'll die. Like a lot of people feel like he's not gonna make it.
Oh really? Damn. Shit.
There's
Well,
no reason to kill Hawkeye at this
Yeah.
point.
There's
Like,
theories
just-
that so in the opening credits, all of the other characters, the arrows go up. Renner's is the only one that goes down. If you watched how his Jeremy Renner,
I saw that. I was like,
I was like-
dude,
I was
this is reaching, bro. This is
yeah,
reaching.
that theory is like, so he's the only one that goes down. So they thinking he's
All right. I feel
It's
like
just an homage to the Matt Fraction font from the comic. There's nothing to this.
I feel like my theory about Kate's dad being alive is more possible to come true instead of that theory, because that's stretching. Like you are literally finding a thread of a thread of a thread of the most smallest thread. Like that is just not happening.
I think he just retires just because all the other Avengers are pretty much going to be gone. Like they're all
Well, except Hulk and Thor.
Hulk and Thor. You're right. Chris Hemsworth loves playing Thor, so he'll stay. And then
Bruce Banner
Bruce Banner. I'm trying to think his right name. Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo is kind of new to Bruce Banner in a sense. You know what I'm saying? He's not the first two banners. So, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? He's kind of in there. But he doesn't have a bunch of movies and things like that. So I feel like you can keep him going for a little while.
Definitely.
But pretty much everybody else kind of just like, you know what I'm saying? The mantle is hung up. We lost Tony Stark. Steve Rogers is hanging it up. We lose Black Widow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, but we have replacements for all of them technically.
Yeah,
not
we have
replacements,
for
but
them,
yeah.
but the originals are all like.
Also, we can't forget that Yelena is gonna probably show up in the next 4 or 5 or 6.
She's in the next 3 episodes.
Yeah,
Oh, she's the next 3? Okay.
Yeah, I checked IMDb. Like, she's credited for the next 3 episodes.
Okay, awesome. So we're gonna see her in next week episode in 5 and 6. Awesome.
Yeah.
But
I think we'll get him later on in the movie, just like a hey, how's things going? But I don't think we'll see him.
Yeah, like
picking up
if
the
he
phone.
just like wants to check up with Kate or something.
Yeah.
Or
And-
or okay, so Hawkeye has to come back because I mean he has to find Wanda. Like this is one of my biggest issues with all of these shows. I'm like, no one's looking for Wanda. Wanda is a nuclear bomb, bro.
and
Like
he's responsible for Wanda.
like no one's looking for Wanda. So
And-
I need him to find her at some point.
Didn't WandaVision how quick after everything is WandaVision?
WandaVision
WandaVision
is
is
I
only 2
think
weeks.
3 weeks.
It's only 2 weeks
3
after
weeks?
Endgame.
And this
Yeah,
is
or 2 weeks.
2025, so this is years later. So he should have definitely been looking for her at this
I mean,
point.
she's in the mountains, like, you know, studying spells from the Darkhold and shit. But I'm like, no one has even said, like, you know what? Where's Wanda? You know?
And plus,
Okay, so
and plus, Hawkeye is the one to bring Wanda because he literally gave her the speech. If you step out that door and join this fight, you're an Avenger with us. So he technically is the one that brought her in as an Avenger fully. So he technically is responsible to check up on her and see how she's doing. Hey, you know, I'm technically the one that convinced you with my beautiful speech to come and join the Avengers. How you doing? Let me go check up on you. How's with you and your dead husband that you took apart from, you know, from the Night Shield base?
I'm about to say now I can jump into my crazy fan theories back because I've seen a lot of theories. There's theories that this isn't even our universe's Hawkeye because
Okay, that's stretching. What the
in
fuck? That's just
2012 they show the scene where Loki crashes into the Avengers Tower, Stark
Oh my
Tower.
God.
The R falls, but I mean the K falls. But in the beginning of this Hawkeye series, the R is gone, not the K. So there's like all sorts of crazy.
Is
like,
it possible? Yes. Probable? No.
No.
Why would you make this Hawkeye series take place in a different universe?
and not having continuity.
And then everything that he's been through, everything with Ronan, with Natasha, everything else, it's all tied to this universe. What do we gain from him being from a different universe?
different universe?
Nada.
We
I've
gain
seen so
nothing.
many crazy theories. That's why I'm saying like I wouldn't be surprised.
It was
It's
a
some
I think it was a
crazy crap.
mistake. I think it was
Yeah.
just a continuity mistake. I was like, well, we kind of fucked it. It's kind of too late. We'll just put it out.
Mm.
He's not from another universe, bro. What do we gain from that?
But
Fan
let's
theories, man.
let's wrap the last scene that happened, and it was Kate and Hawkeye going into Kate's mom's crib because she said, "Let's go to the database," and she said, "Nobody's home." I'm like, "No, don't say that because you should double
Yeah.
check that nobody's home." How do you just walk in and be like, "Yeah, nobody's home"? Like, how do you know? Did you check? Did you call your mom? Did you call Jack? No, nobody's home. Nothing. Girl and Clint literally just goes into computer, and Clint with his spy skills notice or hear something, and then that cliffhanger got me fucking pissed off because I was like, no, how do you end it like this? How do you end it like this? No, I can't wait for a week. I need to know what the hell happened. So curious to see what do you guys think is gonna be the outcome of this scene? Do you think Jack is gonna just disappear and Clint's gonna say nothing happened, or what do you guys think?
I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't thought
same.
about it, honestly, because I'm like, we know Clint's going to escape. We know him and Kate's going to escape. I don't think Jack's going to tell her mom. But I don't know exactly. I have no idea. I have no theories as of right now.
Yeah, I don't have any theories at all. You said that was it, how do you say it? Yesenia gonna be in the next episode?
Yelena.
Yelena is gonna
Yelena.
be in the next 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's what
so
IMDb
obvious-
says anyway.
And if she's and her mission is to hunt Clint down, maybe she's standing in the room with him and like, good job. That's the only maybe theory that I got. But other than that, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I'm just riding along for the wave.
Yeah, man. I don't want to theorize too much. I just want to enjoy the ride on this one. Because
Mhm.
it's been so cool to see like all of the cool things they've taken from Fractions comic, and then the things that they've changed so that they can fit more within the MCU. So I'm just along for the ride, man. Like I'm ready for more Easter eggs, more trick arrows. I'm loving where the series is going. Like I'm very curious to learn more about Jack's character, like how involved is he in Eleanor's business? Like, there's so many questions I have about Jack. So, those are the things that I want to know.
Same, like I can't wait to see the outcome with Jack, and if this is Jack the first time that he sees Clint, or has he seen him as Ronin? Was Ronin one of the person? Is Jack one of the person that was gonna get killed by Ronin years ago in a time skip? Is Jack an evil villain type of mustache dude? We're soon going to be find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball. Sorry, of Hawkeye.
Dragon Ball Hawkeye.
Any final thoughts on this episode, guys?
No, I'm just excited to see what's to come. I'm actually enjoy episode 1 and 2 a lot more. Having the conversation with you guys. Episode 3 was still my favorite. The one shot, the one shot camera take was really well done. The car scene was, was enjoyable. The scenes of them working together, the comedy was great. I had a great time over the 3 episodes overall. Can't wait for us to discuss what was our favorite comic book show / movie this year. Sometime in the beginning of January, because that was going to be a hard list to write down and 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 put us ranking them, which is going to be so difficult.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we have coming down the pipe. Like, I'm gonna be talking about my top 10 favorite movies of the year, the worst movies of the year. We're gonna be talking about like all of the comic book properties, everything that came out this year. And I think what will be really cool, we could kind of do it like a tier list type thing. Like, every comic book property that came out in 2021, we'll kind of just like rank them all and see where they all rank up among us. We can talk about that, off screen. But
Yeah, of course.
but yeah, I would love to, there's so many things I want to talk about. Like I said, I want to talk about The Flash. That's going to be really dope. We'll probably do that at the beginning of January, maybe, I think. Well, no, because we have 3 more episodes of Villains left for the year of 2021. So Armageddon's only 5 parts. So we should be able to give you on like one of the last episodes to give you a full Armageddon review. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we'll be doing a full spoilers discussion on December 20th, that Monday of Spider-Man No Way Home. That's going to be fucking lit. I can't wait to talk to you guys about this movie. But Steve, tell the people where they can find you online.
Oh yeah, you can follow me at Scuba Steve 1428 on all social media. Follow the Blur Mind Pod. You can tell it has a link tree and it can get you to everything that everybody with my team is basically doing and everything like that, as far as their Twitch, their their YouTubes, things like that. Follow Abe at Prince A_Lawal. I hope that I did that right and I didn't butcher it. If I did,
Prince underscore A Lawal.
Prince underscore A Lawal. Okay, yeah. But anyway, it's in the link tree as well. So make sure you guys follow him. Make sure you follow Osa and Abe, and AAW. I think that's it.
Yeah, all of those links will be in the description below. So yeah, click on the link tree. Make sure you follow these guys everywhere. Go to the merch store, get you guys some shirts, some socks.
Yes, make sure you do all that too.
Vash?
2 things, guys. You can follow me at Legendary Vash everywhere on social media, and follow Anime Lately as well on social media and everything. We have some things cooking for Shonen Ronin end of the year to talk about the best manga of Shonen Jump, Shonen Jump magazine. No, Shonen Jump. I think that's just the magazine itself. So definitely we have that thing for December 19th or the December 26th. So we have to discuss behind the scenes and off air to see which day we're going to plan it. And episode 113 of the anime podcast happened last night. Definitely stay tuned for that. I mean, go watch that because it was a fun episode. The trio was there, the OG squad. We had a good time. We went much longer than we planned to, but the conversation went well. We had a great time, and we just missed doing this. And we hope you guys had a good time and just enjoy us being back. We hope to be consistent again. We have some ideas for the new year, but just stay tuned. Check the YouTube side, check the Twitter side, check the Discord. Just be updated or just hit us on the DM.
Yeah, man, Vash said it all. Like, we got some great stuff coming down the pipe for you guys. Definitely check out the Discord. There's always a bunch of shit going on in the Anime Lately Discord. You want to talk manga spoilers freely without doing it on the timeline, do it on the Anime Lately Discord. You won't regret it. Follow me all over social media at JB Exclusive, and of course, see the number 4 spoilers. Make sure you go to carefulspoilers.com. That is the hub for absolutely everything that we do. So you will find links to every single podcast on the C4S Podcast Network, the merch store, the Patreon page where we do exclusive giveaways of Blu-ray digital codes. We're also going to start giving away comic digital codes. So for you guys, anyone watching right now, if you are currently a patron or if you become a patron within the next week, you will enter to get a free digital code of the new Hulk run, the new number 1 of the new Hulk run by Danny Coates or Donnie Coates. I can't remember exactly how you pronounce his name. But yeah, you'll get that number 1. All you got to do is be a patron on there. But yeah, follow the website. Everything we do is on there. Thank you guys so much for being here in chat. Thank you guys for supporting all of us and all of our different platforms. And of course, right here on C4S Villains. And until the next episode, we'll see you guys on the next one.